Hello, everybody. Live from the doghouse. We're going right into it. Scottie Scheffler live on 11. Scottie Scheffler has just creeped his way up the leaderboard at this event. He was like 4 back after the first round. Then he's like 2 back, 1 back to 1. I think he was 2 back going into today. He's now tied for the lead with 8 holes to go after a birdie on 10, going for his 5th win of the season. And I actually don't know what I would say to Scottie. You know, because we do the program. We have a nice arrangement with the PGA Tour. We have the winner of the tournament on our show on Dan on Golf on Monday. I've done this with Scottie 4 times already, or I don't really know what I would say. I guess you ask about Ted Scott not having him on the bag, but I mean this guy. There's really no questions left. So we're gonna see, but it's a hell of a leaderboard. We got Scottie tied with JJ Spaun. They're playing together both on 11. The U.S. Open champion. Then we've got Tommy Fleetwood looking for that ever-elusive win. We're only month and a half after we all went through that heartbreak of the Travelers together when Keegan Bradley got him at the end. Justin Rose has now fallen 2 back, but you talk about a guy who's had some near misses. I mean, second in the last major last year, loses to Rory McIlroy in a playoff at the Masters. His second time losing in a playoff at the Masters. And remember, winning the Masters is unlike winning any other golf tournament. That shit's for life. It's like chlamydia. You win the Masters, that shit ain't going away. Does chlamydia go away? I'm not sure. We're back. Ben is not here today. Ben's actually on the East Coast for a little while, so it's a Dan show. Got back from San Francisco this morning. I was out at Olympic Club for a practice round of the United States Amateur. San Francisco is like its own country, and I'm not even talking politically or anything like that. I'm just saying like weather-wise. It's been so hot everywhere that I've been. Even LA is starting to get hot now in August. And hello to the regulars. We got Matthew Bittinger in here. We got Joseph Boza. Is Tommy finally going to win? I feel like I would feel a lot better about his chances if Scottie Scheffler wasn't up there. But here he is, his first tee shot that we have seen so far on the stream on the 10th hole. He seems to like it. Quick tee pickup. That usually means that it is down the middle. And it is. Just got back from San Francisco. It was so foggy and cold. It was out of control. I mean, walking back from dinner last night, It was 59 degrees, and I understand. Oh, 59 degrees. You're probably saying, oh, I live in this part of the country. 59 degrees is nice. 59 degrees in the middle of August when you're I'm mentally preparing for Baltimore next week. I've been mentally preparing for these next 2 weeks of weather for like since I've basically gotten back from the Open Championship. And San Francisco, I was wearing a sweater and I was cold the whole time. Olympic Club, iconic. Kind of crazy. It hasn't had a major since 2012. What a property. Really cool day. Here's Justin Rose, his tee shot on 10. He is playing with Tommy. These two, when we saw that photo of them hanging out in Portugal last week, now they're in the final round on Sunday, but they have both been leapfrogged. Got a little bit of a mini Ryder Cup situation going on right now. The Americans on top, the Brits in second. Yes, I was at Olympic. Shot videos yesterday that you guys will see very, very soon. Little one-hole videos. We do those one-hole lists. We did them with, we did it with Jackson Coyven. We did it with, who else did we do it with? We did it with Michael Lasasso, who's just, the with that crazy swing and the chain, and he's the reigning NCAA champ out of Ole Miss, and he's just signed an endorsement deal with the Bob Knows Sports guys, so talked to him about that. And then we did one with Richard Tedder. You guys remember he was the Estonian who holed out in final qualifying for the Open Championship to become the first Estonian to ever play in the Open, and then he had that long drive contest with Bryson, which kind of went viral early in the week. Really cool kid. Still got that crazy haircut. Olympic didn't look all that difficult. I mean, it's the USAM. It's not the US Open. They can make it harder as the week goes on. They've got 312 players in stroke play, so I don't think that they set it up as hard as they can for stroke play. I actually was on the ocean course more yesterday just because, there's so many players, 312 players, and there's only 2 days of practice, and there's 2 different golf courses, so you've got 156 players playing each course each day, so it was very like, you're on this course today. You couldn't just go tee it up when you wanted. You had to get a tee time. The USGA, tries to accommodate everyone on a first-come, first-served basis, but our guys, Jackson was playing the ocean yesterday, and Tedder was playing the ocean yesterday, so only saw a couple holes of the lake, but yeah, what an amazing property. Very intimate. The trees make you feel like you're kind of in a little stadium. Extremely hilly, but no problem for Lasasso. Every day is a leg day for him. 59 degrees is such a dream, says Alex Bush. Okay, I knew that was going to happen. Live Chicago. Saw the ending. Congratulations to Dean Burmester. By his stairs, having some success on Live last couple of weeks. I feel like he's been living inside the top 10. John Rahm loses in a playoff. There were a lot of people there. It's in Chicago. The PGA Tour event really should be in Chicago right next week. Here's Ben Griffin. Really strong weeks from 2 guys who are right on the Ryder Cup bubble. And I don't even know if I would put Ben Griffin in the bubble anymore. What do you guys think about Ben Griffin? Drop a like if he should be on the Ryder Cup team. I think it's been so consistent all year that I think Griffin's pretty much a lock right now, but he's up there at 9 under. And then Cameron Young needed to show Keegan Bradley. You know, he said on our show that I've got a couple more weeks to show him what I'm capable of. It's going to look like another top 10 finish. And here's JJ Spaun almost, well, I don't know if that was 62 feet, but that almost went in. JJ Spaun doing JJ Spaun things. We all remember that at Oakmont. So big weeks from Cameron Young and Ben Griffin. Less so for Chris Gotterup, way down at the bottom of the leaderboard, and also Keegan Bradley hasn't played super solid in the last couple of weeks. So we got a lot of intrigue in the Ryder Cup department. You got Chris Kirk. I actually saw Rick Gaiman was forecasting. He's got Scottie to win the tournament. So you know, if nothing else happens, if Scottie wins, we're in a plus week. But he did a list of guys who hit it right to left primarily. There's really not that many on tour because most guys are righty and most guys hit cuts primarily. But the three of the biggest right to left bias were Tommy Fleetwood hits draws, Chris Kirk hits draws, and Akshay hits cuts as a lefty, and Justin Rose hits a lot of draws. So, and he said that this golf course, a lot of the corridors are right to left. So right to left is going to be a strength and an advantage this week. Here is Scottie for birdie on 11. Guys, he has slowly marched up. Is he going to take this tournament by the throat? Oh, it just catches the high lip. He looks a little bit flummoxed. The field dodges a bullet, but I can only imagine what they're all thinking. This fucking Scheffler guy, man. It's every damn week. You know, he took a break after the Open. He came back, and it's just the same story. If you're going to win the golf tournament, you got to beat that guy with the funny last name. That's just kind of how it goes on tour these days. Look at how good of a roll that is. Just catches the high lip. Going to get to some of your questions. How hard was Olympic again? I didn't think it was crazy difficult. Next campus for the series, asks Ivan. We are in discussions with Oklahoma State, the golf school. We're looking at potentially a September date to go down to Oklahoma State. They just won their 12th national championship. Coach Alan Bratton has got them back on top of the college world. And I feel like what a better school to kick off season 2 of the college series than with the golf school, Oklahoma State. There should definitely be a PGA Tour stop in Chicago. I can't believe there isn't. I mean, if you look at the videos or the pictures as Chris Kirk rolls one in on 13 to stay at 9 under, the crowds are absolutely out of control. The crowds are totally out of control in Chicago, and they were big this week too at Bolingbrook for the Live event. It's a massive city. We're in a dead part of the year. What are they? You know, the Cubs games. You can only go to so many Cubs games, and I think Live is expecting next week in Indy to be even more people. So it's a no-brainer move from Live to go to these cities that the tour is not at. Tommy Fleetwood, that is a really nice pin for him on the left side, and it just catches it back at the green. Is that going to roll back? No, it doesn't. It stays kind of on the fringe, so that's going to be a speedy birdie putt. Nice look at the 12th here at TPC Southwind. We know this golf course like the back of our hand, obviously, after doing the Wednesday stream with Will Zalatoris. Dan, how do you feel about Kiz and Woodland being assistant captains with both never playing on a Ryder Cup? I mean, once they went with Keegan Bradley as the captain, I think all bets were off. They wanted guys they prioritize guys who are closer to the group of players in terms of age and culture that are actually playing than what they've accomplished in the past with their golf career. So I got no issue with it. Where's that Davis Thompson kid at currently? Well, he wasn't in the field this week. Remember, he 3-putted the last on 18. So hopefully taking a beach vacation somewhere. He said he wasn't going to touch a golf club for 3 weeks. It's a mandatory break. It's kind of sick. Sick and not like sick the cool way as the kids say it. As Scottie Scheffler hits a big time pole, you very rarely see him hit a 3-wood that far offline, only 69 feet of apex. That was lucky not to hit the path. It is left of the path, nestles down in some Bermuda. It's about as errant a shot as you'll see. But yeah, those guys don't really have anywhere to play. The guys who just missed in the 70 to 100 because there's no opposite field events this week. So they just got to sit and watch. Cuck chair. Justin Rose on 10. Oh, he's done much better than Tommy has. That should be a birdie for Justin Rose to get right back in. And we've got ourselves quite the golf tournament. Looks like Justin Rose is going to have about 3 feet to get to 13 under and be only one back with Tommy Fleetwood. Scheffler's in trouble off the tee. I'm looking forward to this one. This is a good one. I mean, last week, guys, if you were on the watch along last week, what's up, sickos? Hello, James Gardner. If you were here last week, then you guys, everyone deserves this week. Because last week was like getting kicked in the mouth repeatedly, watching Cameron Young just, made another par. I'm going to win the tournament. Here's JJ Spaun. That's about 50 yards right of Scottie's ball, and that's more the line that you are looking at. So JJ Spaun finds the fairway on 12. 167 ball speed kind of warms the heart to see a driver with under 170 ball speed. a chance for us all. By the way, guys, I played 15 holes on Friday. My last round, I shot 300 again. My game's starting to get really good. Ricky Fowler, who is right on the bubble. He is projected 51st. Good on CBS for having the tracker of the FedEx on the screen. I thought we were going to be the only ones who did that, but a no-brainer there. So Ricky Fowler probably needs some birdies coming in. It's going to be very, very close. He is projected 51st. And let's not understate how important the top 50 is. I was talking to an agent yesterday for Aldrich Potgieter, who looks like he's going to miss it. He's in 52nd, despite shooting a good round today. I think he shot 300 today. It changes everything. If you're in the top 50, you know your schedule next year. You know, especially like Aldrich's won, so he knows he's playing in the Masters. So basically, and you're in the PGA for being in the top 100. So basically, your schedule through June 1st is whatever you want it to be, right? You start the season in Hawaii. You get to go to, I hope it's at Riviera. I don't think it will. I actually drove through the Palisades recently. I don't think it's going to be at Riviera next year, but you get into Genesis, you get into Bay Hill. You start your year the way you want. After the Masters, you play, RBC Heritage the following week. So that top 50 number is absolutely huge. JT hot with the putter today. That's what we need for Bethpage. Yeah, I saw JT. There's a lot of guys who are like stuck in neutral, I feel like. Let's do a little leaderboard watch here. I'm going to scroll a little bit. So Justin Thomas shot 500, but still T29. I mean, Colin Morikawa, he was up there early in the week. He's at T21. Sam Burns, T29. How about Xander Schauffele, T21? Just sort of a lot of kind of nappy weeks. Nappy, like they're taking a nap. Ludwig Oberg having a nice week, tied for 7th. He's quietly been playing a little bit better recently. We can go back to the bottom of the board. These are the guys whose seasons are going to be over. Daniel Berger is actually still going to make it next week. We have an On the Bag with Daniel Berger coming out on Wednesday, I believe. My caddy series where I caddy for the guys 9 holes. I'll say he shoots better than he shot today. He didn't shoot 10 over when I caddied for him. Tony Finau, 6 over. Jake Knapp, +5. Jake Knapp's going to miss the signature events again. And he's going to finish, let's see, don't we have this? Knapp is going to finish somewhere around 55th, 54th. And, I go back to what Jake told me, if you guys didn't watch the Wednesday stream, about Jake has hired Joe Greiner to be his full-time caddy. And I asked him, because he had a buddy who on the bag since at least the Corn Ferry Tour days, maybe even before that. And I said, what's the deal? And he said, I still have a lot to learn. And I do wonder if the way he finished at Cognizant and the way he finished at 3M when he went like balls to the wall. Cognizant, he tries to hit one out of the water twice. You remember it was like kind of half submerged and he went for it. And then a couple of weeks ago at 3M, he goes to the last hole with a chance, for a birdie, and he tries to stuff one in there close, make eagle. He ends up making par. Here's Tommy for birdie. Oh, it's tracking. Does it get there? Oh my goodness, if he doesn't win, remember that one. He almost like put his hands up like, I cannot believe that ball ran out of gas. Oh, Tommy Fleetwood gave that such a great effort on 11, but he is going to stay at 13 under. I just wonder, to close up that loop, I just wonder if that's part of what Jake is thinking. Like, maybe I should not protect the points, but try to play mathematically smart golf down the stretch and not let my emotions and not let my competitiveness of wanting to win so badly take over sort of my brain, because it's painful. It's painful to miss. I mean, Jake, I don't know. I want to say he got 1 invite or 2 invites maybe into a signature event, but he didn't get the invites that Jordan Spieth got or that Ricky Fowler got. And so yeah, it's tough. He's been playing so well this summer. Never good to miss. All right, we got Rosie fresh off the birdie on 10. Almost an island green on the 12th here, and that's another beautiful shot for Justin Rose. And I asked Rosie at the Open Championship about, he's a big tennis fan, and I know that he went and saw Novak Djokovic at Wimbledon, and I said, watching Novak lose to Jannik Sinner and say afterwards that he didn't really feel like it was much of a fair fight, just because in the last 18 months, the age has really started to catch up to Djokovic. And at the end of a long 2 weeks, he's playing a guy who's 23. Does he really feel like he has all the gas? Does he have, enough in the tank? And he didn't know the answer. And so I asked Justin Rose if he vibed with that, basically. And what he said was, I don't think that I'm gonna reinvent my game and sort of find something that, makes me into to where I can beat these guys every single week. But I think on my day, you know, I can really still do it. I still have enough in the tank. And we saw that, the back nine at the Masters, I think he shot 64 to get into that playoff. I mean, he has a chaser gear and he's in that again. So I would not count out J Rose down the stretch here. We got Tommy trying to play a little lazy draw. It's right at the middle of the green. Yeah, it's well right of the hole though. Well right of the hole. Tommy's stuck in neutral a little bit. Tommy is definitely stuck in neutral a little bit, which we saw last week. It was painful to watch. So hopefully he can. I'm rooting for Tommy, and it's not that I don't like Scottie or enjoy watching him win, but I just think Scottie's won a lot of golf tournaments. Tommy's never won one in the U.S. You have to be the best golf commentator. Love these watch-alongs much better than listening to the announcers. I appreciate it, Matthew Bittinger. I wish the announcers themselves agreed or the TV networks agreed. But yeah, I just think we do it in more of a modern way. I mean, we talk about golf the way you guys talk about golf. We're not concerned with saying bad words or with saying that's a bad shot, which is that is a bad shot from Scottie. That's 2 left balls in a row. 2 left balls in a row. And now he's in the bunker, green side on the 12th. We got Jonathan Vegas. This is an important putt for Ricky Fowler's future, and it slides by. But Jonathan Vegas knows and Ricky Fowler knows that they are right there. So it's going to come down to the stretch between those two. Ricky will probably get invites next year no matter what. I mean, he was not in the signature events this year on his own number, and him and Spieth seem to get into every single one. So you wonder if he burned them. Like, if he asks for exemptions next year, are the guys going to be like, okay, we gave you your year? Or are they just going to be like, yeah, Ricky, we want you? All right, JJ Spaun, he doesn't need to worry about getting into the signature events next year. That's a nice approach shot into 12, kind of right on line with the flag, just a little bit short. Mrs. Rappaport is gone today. She's out of town. So if you hear my dogs going crazy, it's because my wife usually keeps them calm, and I'm expecting them to be gnawing at this door pretty soon. But yeah, it's all golf today. All golf today. Well, a wonderful lag putt there from Chris Kirk, the drawer, one of the few, the proud, the drawers. Guys, I want to get your thoughts in the chat. I want to hear who you guys are rooting for. We got a plugged lie, a big time plugged lie. Is that Scottie's ball? It is Scottie's ball. Wow, that's unfortunate because it didn't even really plug in the face. It just sort of plugged in halfway up the bunker. They won't be super stoked with that. Well, I would say Ted Scott would not be stoked with that, but I don't know if the chaplain is gonna. Doesn't feel very chaplain-y to tell Scottie that he just got a bad break with a bad lie in the bunker. It would be interesting to hear Scottie talk about how the caddy did, because he caddied for him the same guy caddied for him back at the PGA when the day after Scottie got arrested, when Ted Scott had to go home for his daughter's graduation. I think it was maybe son, daughter, one of his children's graduations. But that was Saturday. Sunday is a different story. Sunday's a totally different story. So, I am curious to see how much he talked, how much of this fell on Scottie, if it was quieter than normal. All right, Scottie's playing a little chunk and run out of the plugged lie in the bunker. He got the chunk part down, and it's running out, but it's going to be about 9 feet. It's going to be about 9 feet for Mr. Scheffler to save his par. I think it's 9 feet. Let's see how the optical TrackMan is doing. Oh, they got the scatter. Tourcast keeps getting better. We got the scatter plot. We can see who's made birdies from where. We can see who's hit it super close. Oh, this is fun. I love when you just go back to something on a website and it just gets better. Aaron Rice stuck one today. Ryan Gerard stuck one today. Maverick McNeely, not as much of a sticker. Didn't really stick one as much. Damn, I really bungled that. Now I'm on McNeely. I don't want McNeely. I want Scottie. Okay. There we go. There we go. James is rooting for Tommy. Will you be at the U.S. Amateur tomorrow, says the Scrambled Golf Podcast? No, unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. I was there only on Saturday. I'm going to Baltimore tomorrow. I'm doing my show live here in LA, and then I'm going to Baltimore tomorrow for BMW. Tommy hitting the same lag putt that JJ Spaun did on the par 3 11th. He does similarly well. That's about 2.5 feet. We'll give that. Unfortunately, I won't be there. It was a one day only. But yeah, I had a good time. I had a really good time. I wish it wasn't this week. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe the weekend. Who knows? Something if it's like Koivu against Lasasso or some big time thing. You know, San Francisco is really. I can get there in about 3 hours on a plane. Not driving. I don't have. I don't drive 130 miles an hour, but I can leave my house if it's like a 9 a.m. flight. I can leave my house at 7:30, get there around 8, land around 10, and then be at Olympic at 10:30. Olympic's actually pretty close to the airport. Here is Justin Rose for birdie on 11 to tie the leaders. It's got the right pace. It slides by on the low side. Let's go, Tommy. Nat Sharp is rooting for Tommy. Let's get some energy in here, guys. If we got Tommy Fleetwood, so many chances. He's playing lefty on YouTube now. He's one of the nicest guys out there. It was absolutely painful watching him lose the Travelers to Keegan Bradley. He's got another chance right here. Let's get some Tommy love in the chat. Drop us a like if you're rooting for Tommy. I think our heart is with Tommy today, but also Justin Rose. And you might say, I'm getting out. You can cheer for non-Americans for the next month or so before it becomes a felony. Want to play around when you get to Baltimore? Can get us off a hidden gem. I would love to. Unfortunately, I am getting there Monday night. I'm working all day at the golf course Tuesday, working all day Wednesday, and then my one of my best buddies when I lived in New York is a Baltimore guy, and I'm staying at his parents' house, and we're going out to Baltimore Country Club on Thursday, which I've heard tremendous things about. So really looking forward to that. Old School Tealing has great worm cam here for Scottie Scheffler for his par putt. He's been putting the lights out this year. It's a really good stroke, and it's in the middle of the hole, and that makes him difficult to beat, man. That makes him difficult to beat because we talk so much about Scottie's ball striking. He had 2 terrible shots. A low pull with the 3-wood, an approach shot that basically plugs in a bunker, kind of chops it out to 8 feet, makes the putt. When he's putting like this, is what they always say, every player, when he putts well, he's probably going to win the tournament. And man, did that look solid. Let's go, JJ. Some JJ Spaun love in the chat. Maybe he'll finally get that endorsement deal. Lab will start to pay him now that they've got that that private equity money. What's he, $200 million? You guys see that? I don't know what I was expecting, but $200 million just kind of stopped me in my tracks. Congratulations to that guy, man. Congratulations to that guy. I'm talking about the long-haired guy who started it. He must have made $1 gazillion on that deal. All right, Justin Rose on 12T. How good is the two sums pace? That's also going left. Looks almost like a carbon copy of Scottie's. Maybe not quite as far left, but might be worse. That rough looks worse. Scottie, it looked pretty bad from the camera angle when he hit it, but then when he got over there, he actually got to the back of the ball because it looked like it was pressed down there a little bit. BCC is great. Enjoy it. I think we're doing 36 that day. I don't know if my wife knows that, but I think we're doing East. Is the East the more like renowned of the two of Baltimore Country Club? I think we're doing the East in the morning and then West. Dan, do you think zero torque putters will ever be banned? I don't think so. No, I mean if they ban zero torque putters before they ban the long putter, then they got a serious issue on their hands. I mean, you still have to swing the thing. I'm against arm lock. I'm against the long putter. I think your max putter length should be 38 inches or whatever it is, 39 inches. It's just not the spirit of the rule. Here's Tommy. That looks like it's on a better line than Rose's. Is that going to find the fairway? He seems to think so. It does indeed. So a good tee shot there for Tommy on 12. I didn't play at Olympic. I was just out there. Someone, Scramble Golf Podcast, asked how I played. I was just out there shooting some stuff. The golf course was closed for the USAM. It was they got practice round yesterday, practice round today, and then they have a full week stroke play tomorrow, stroke play on Tuesday. 312 gets cut down to 64, and then they do match play the rest of the week. Oh, we might have to advance on the Tourcast. I'm a little bit behind, but here's Scottie after that left miss on 13. Let's see if he can right the ship. Wow, that was an interesting swing with Scottie. He was almost in like a pretty... I don't know if we can like rewind. I can't rewind that. Maybe I will be able to show you guys on here on the Tourcast. It almost looked like a really conventional swing with his feet, and then the ball got to the air, and then he did the weird thing with the foot. It was like... There's so much improvisation, and he doesn't feel any of it, which I think is really a unique thing. Like, to have to have room to be athletic in your golf swing like he does and actually do it. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it to a normal person. Oh, and Ricky's back in. Ricky is, as of now, would be back in because Jacob Bridgman just tied Jonathan Vegas. So, as you're going to see, a lot of moving parts, two-way T18 versus a five-way T20. We're in sort of that scenario. Whereas I feel like if we went to what Rick Gaiman was talking about, which is top 30 after this week, top 50, you wouldn't need all these different points scenarios. You would just, whoever's in the top 30 this week, and I think you'd see some guys really, really grinding. Foreplay played there. Do broom putters give an advantage? I don't know I don't think they give an advantage to a guy who's a good putter, but you never see a good putter switch to a broom, do you? It's always a Band-Aid. And then you see guys who it like saves their career, which is good for them, but also a sign that it should probably be banned. Definitely hoping Tommy wins this, says Amy Borden, but I'll be traumatized if there is a playoff between him and Rose. And there's a big putt from Kurt Kitayama, having a nice end of the season, and that is going to be another nice paycheck for his brother, the former and potentially future again Bandon caddy who has taken over his bag after Tim Tucker left Kurt Kitayama to go work for Tony Finau, who finished almost last this week. So yeah, you got to pick your horse. Dan, will Jason Day make it to next week? How does this work? I thought top 50 finishers move on. No, it's still a cumulative points list. It's not just top 50 in this week. It's top 50 in the cumulative points list. And yes, Jason Day, as I'm showing you on the screen here, is 44th. So he is projected to move on. Yes, he is. Here's the guys who are all moving on as of right now. And then here, I'll scroll down a little bit for you guys. You can see some guys moved up. Bud Colley's moved up. JT Poston's moved up. Chris Kirk's moved up. Jonathan Vegas, as of right now, has moved up. And then the biggest loser so far this week has been Aldrich Potgater, who came in 43rd. But I mean, we talked about Rory, all this stuff about Rory missing. He's gonna move down one spot. How will he ever survive? How will Rory ever survive? How will the PGA Tour ever survive? Rory's gonna move down one spot after not playing in the first playoff event. Oh, this is going to be, Joseph Boza is going to keep us posted here. Guys, remember, I'm watching on mute, so if they're giving you all these comprehensive breakdowns, as Chris Kirk, that ball looks like it's going left. If that ball's not going left, I can't see anything anymore. Is that going to stay up? Is that going to stay up? No, it does not. Wow. That could be really costly. Chris Kirk's in 49th. That is going to be really costly. You can't make a double bogey on the back nine when you're trying to, especially because Kirk's having a good week. Like, he needs the big points. So if he makes a double bogey here and falls from 7th place or wherever he is all the way down to like 20th, that might move up Fowler. That might move up Vegas. Maybe Aldrich is still in with a shot. I don't know. Rory's FU to TPC Southwind benefited him, but pissed off the players board, says Joseph Boza. I don't think he really cares. As Ricky hits a good one into 15. Go to Keiko's Pub for best crab cakes in Baltimore. Noted. All right. Coco's Pub with a K. All right, here is Jonathan Vegas on 17. We're getting this because of the FedEx Cup implications. He's got a dart. Good shot from Big Johnny Vegas. Still the coolest name on tour. I wish I had like a little. Oh, guys, let's watch the Scottie. Let's see maybe you can see what I was talking about. Watch his foot on this one. Why isn't it playing the video? Yeah, here it is. Look, he does like almost a conventional finish, and then look, conventional finish. There goes the foot. Do you see the little late shuffle with the foot there? Oh, the little things that get me excited in life. The little things. It's all the little things. All right, Tommy's hitting his approach into 12, 149 yards. That abbreviated finish, you would think he's taking dead aim here, but it is well left of it. I'm going to say that's a poor shot. That's a poor shot. There's nothing right of that green, of that pin. Back right pins can be a challenge for Tommy because of his draw bias. That was a pull that went too far. Scottie and Ted Scott are respected so much that caddies for EVR and Tom Hoagie volunteered to come back and caddy for Scottie, but they settled on Brad Payne. They respect Scottie so much, or they know he's going to win the tournament, and they're thinking, maybe if I get, just a little piece of that. I just think the best player in the world. Yes, I'm not saying that they don't respect Scottie or they don't respect Randy Smith. But if Tiger Woods, playing in his prime, Steve Williams had to leave for a day, there'd be caddies lining up the door who would be like, yeah, I'll try. Because what if the guy shoots 59 and you win and he's like, I like this guy, and then maybe you don't get the job now, but then 2 years down the road, if Ted Scott's got more money than JJ Spaun, and he's like, I actually want to go off to the sunset, then maybe he's thinking, oh, I had that guy, it worked. Speaking of JJ Spaun, very nice shot from the rough there on 13 to the front of the green. Check out the Max Fly man pushing hard for Ryder Cup spot, says Justin Holland. I don't think he's pushing anymore. I think he's a shoo-in. I think Ben Griffin's going to be on the team. Ivan R., how often do you tinker with your bag, Dan? Not super often. I usually get like one fitting a year. Maybe I'll have like a 5-wood versus a driving iron and something. The one I tinker with a lot is putting. I've had the lab in the bag for a couple months, but I've already gone to the claw and back twice. Yeah, back conventional now. I change around putting grips and putters way more than I change around my golf clubs. It'd be nice to be like a tour pro though and just get to change your wedges all the time. Different grinds for different courses. I'd have to learn which grinds work for different courses, but that'd be fun. All right, Scottie, after a perfect tee shot on 13. A very cool look here with the side tracer. That's just a little bit left of it, but English, Danny. Oh my goodness. I hung out with my niece last night. She's 2 years old, 2.5. She blabbers a lot. I think some of it, through osmosis got into my brain a little bit. I've been having a little bit of a harder time forming full sentences today. And I didn't even drink it yesterday. Not even a single thing. But yeah, this is what Scottie needed. He needed the moment to be too much for Tommy and Rosie. I understand you saying that for Tommy, but I don't think that's fair for Justin Rose. I don't think that Justin Rose played poorly in any of the, tournaments that he's lost by one shot, or, I just think he's gotten beat. And I expect Rose to finish strong, and I expect Tommy to finish strong too. Like, I mean, I don't want to make everything about my game, but now that I'm playing better, the more, I felt different being, I hadn't shot 3 under for probably like 5 years at my home course. And then I did it last Friday, and then I did it again this Friday. And I can tell you that my emotions were so much different the second time. And anyone who knows this, like, you guys play golf, the first time you're trying to break 90, you're nervous as hell. Then you start to do it over and over again, and you start to think it's literally only a matter of time, right? And I think that's where Tommy's at. I think that's where Tommy's at. I mean, we'll see. Now he might 3-putt the last from 20 feet and make me look like a total idiot, and then we can clip this up and give it to freezing cold takes. But I think the more you put yourself in position, the more comfortable you are. It's a matter of time before Tommy makes some birdies down the stretch instead of some bogeys. Ryan French, I think you mean Joseph Boza. Drink now. Let's have a cold one on the stream. Maybe. Yeah, maybe I'll have a beer. What do I got later today? I already worked out this morning. I got to plan the show. I can maybe have a beer. Your ball marker reveal made me order the Everton and Vanderbilt one, says Justin Holland. How sick are those things? Speaking of Everton, you guys gonna get Jack Grealish? That would be something. You got to get him out of Man City. You got to get, I'm seeing the videos of him at the Oasis concert. It's, he needs to be a more of central part of a team. I think when Jack gets a little bit distracted, he likes to party a little bit too much. That's my read. But if Tommy comes on, I will 100% ask him if he wins a tournament and we get to interview him today. I will 100% ask him about Everton's transfer window. Adam French of Monday Q Info reported a crazy situation at Pinnacle. I saw this. Not Adam French, though. Ryan French. MJ DeFew got in the field due to a clerical error. Screwed Rayshawn Thomas. Pinnacle is KFT's penultimate of regular season. Yeah, Rayshawn's not going to be happy. And he's got a point. So they're going to have to make that right. We're going to talk about that on the show tomorrow. Justin Rose, Ryder Cup. I usually leave the European team to we have either Luke Curtinine or James Gregg come on and pick their team. He would be on my team. And I think they need a little, like, one elder statesman. And I think Justin Rose has shown that on his week, when he's up for it, he's just as good as anybody. I mean, look at his finishes in last year's Open. Look at his finish at the Masters. Look what he played at the Ryder Cup last year. And you better believe he'll be up for it at the Ryder Cup. So here's Tommy Fleetwood. Hit it, Tommy. Hit it, Tommy. Hit it, Tommy. Yes! That's the kind of putt that he needed to go in. That is the kind of putt that Tommy Fleetwood needed to go in. His first birdie of the day comes on 12. Probably a 30-footer. After missing a couple ones that were almost limped past the hole. He didn't have his speed right. Was not a great approach in there, but he got that one to go. That was big time from Tommy. Big time from Tommy. He is back in a tie for the lead. Okay, Tommy. That's what you needed, my friend. That is 100% what you needed. Big time birdie on 12. Meanwhile, Mr. Scheffler, he's putting so good now that it feels like these are gonna go in, especially the greens. I've been talking to some guys. I am not in Memphis, as I've talked about all week. I've got a no Memphis in August policy. My policy expires. I was gonna say September 1st. I was then gonna say Labor Day. I'm gonna say my no Memphis policy expires in October. But I have a no Memphis policy. So I've been talking to guys on site, and they said the course is incredibly pure, which is impressive for how hot it is. All right, here is Scottie Scheffler putting for birdie on 13. Misses it. Another one just barely misses on the edge. We got a duel coming. We got a duel up here. We've got 3 tied for the lead with Justin Rose, 1 behind, and now he's got a par effort, does Justin Rose on 12. This is a big putt. You don't want to fall 2 back of 3 guys who are all bona fide studs. He misses it. So Scheffler, Fleetwood, Spaun, 14 under. Justin Rose to 12 under, and we have 7 holes to go. No. We have 6 holes to go. 6 holes to go. Final answer. What up, Jerry Winkler? You just got in from work. Hope you had a good work day. We're gonna have a lot more fun on this stream than you did at work. I hope. I don't know what your job is, but I would imagine it. Dan took an extra 15 IR today. I have not taken any what you are referring to since college. Ricky gets a putt to go, playing in a little tournament of himself. He is now 49th projected in the points. He has passed Jonathan Vegas, and Aldrich Potgieter is now the first one up, and that's because of that double bogey from Chris Kirk. You see just how much that double bogey from Chris Kirk, because if you're having a high finish, it's one thing if you're T25th and you make a double bogey and you got on a T 38th or whatever. If you're like in 7th and you make a late double bogey, it is just so many points that you were going to lose. Also, like that comment about me being on an extra 15 or whatever, would you prefer me to just not talk on the stream? Like, is that how you want this to go? This is 100% natural. I have my zones. Also, what am I doing? This is not something that I need to engage in. Okay, Tommy Fleetwood, tee shot on 13. He's swinging he seems to be moving almost in slow motion. I wonder if that's a conscious effort that he's making today, or if he's trying to conserve energy because it's so damn hot outside, but he seems to be swinging within himself. He seems to be kind of moving very slowly. Like I remember at Travelers walking, there was an amazing shot that the guy must have had the gimbal, and he was walking back, and it was a shot of Andrew Novak gets one to go. It was a shot of Keegan walking in front of Tommy, and it was like, there's the hunter and there's the hunted. And it was very, very clear. Tommy's face was not that of somebody who felt like they were going to win the tournament. Keegan had a totally different energy. I'm not seeing the same thing from Tommy so far, but still a lot of golf left. All right, Justin Rose, tee shot on 13. Needs a good one here after the bogey, and he's got one. Quick tee pickup from both of our lads from old England. They're both in the fairway. Talk about it being hot. Just wait for the BMW Championship to be in St. Louis next year, where I am. Is it at Belle Reve? Is it really? It's in St. Louis. Why don't they just put it in freaking Chicago? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. We got St. Louis next year. I didn't even know that. I'm not going. I probably will go because it's going to be after Memphis again, and I can't miss 2 in a row. My FOMO starts to go crazy. 2 like signature events. So St. Louis, you're saying it's St. Louis next year. So we go the first 2 playoff events in 2025, Memphis, Baltimore. You're saying in 2026, Memphis, St. Louis. The last time St. Louis had a golf tournament in August, Tiger Woods almost won it, which was electric. He also wore 5 shirts on the back 9 because that's how much he was sweating. I mean, St. Louis. I can't. Chipper, are you going to put it on live here later, or you can't? I can't. Yeah. This is a watch along. This is a companion to the broadcast. Unfortunately, I cannot show you guys the golf shots as much as I'd like to. And trust me, I'd like to. Oh, we're on the wrong hole. Tourcast is sleeping today. I'm in Copenhagen for vacation and going to the Danish Championship to root on the Højgaard twins in 3 days. They're battling for a Ryder Cup spot. Love Copenhagen. Studied abroad there in the fall of 2015. Amazing 3 months. And then I went back the week after the Open last year with my wife. to Copenhagen. Amazing place. Amazing place. All right, Scottie has reached the tee on the par 3, 14th. There is water all down the right. Pin probably, I would expect, is in the back right today. You would think so. Oh, no, they've got it middle left on the final round. Huh, that's interesting. Yep, Scottie's aimed at this very, very far left. Is he still going to start at left? Start at the left edge of the green and let it sort of bleed? He's the best iron player on the planet. It's certainly bleeding. It is certainly moving to the middle of the green. And it's, yep, Tourcast lies. That pin is back right, which makes a lot of sense. That's a very Scottie Scheffler shot right there. Started at the bunker, probably wanted it to curve a little bit more than it did. Still misses that bunker. Here's Bud Cauley. Bud Cauley is one of the guys who has moved way up this week with his play, and his short game's unbelievable, and he just holed out to basically guarantee himself a spot in the playoffs. How big is that for Bud Cauley? In his first year back after just a nightmare 5+ years of injury, started to show signs early this year in Florida. He's kept at it all year. Needed a good week this week and a hole-out birdie on 17, and he knows exactly what that means. Awesome stuff there from Bud Cauley. We're getting some drama, some non-top of the leaderboard drama here. Which of the players in the playoffs are going to join Live this year? I have no idea. Justin. I really don't. Spawn's is cutting even more than Scottie's is. Oh, right over the flag. That was a ballsy shot from JJ Spaun. Not sure he was trying to hit it quite that far right, but looks like a great place to putt from. It's an interesting time to go to Live if you're an established PGA Tour player. I mean, you guys see that Hudson Swafford interview on Subpar with Colt and Drew Stoltz? Said that they told him that he's suspended till 27, and they have like that as a date because it seems like at the end of 26 there's some contracts that are coming up, and maybe they want to have some policies in place for 27. So if you're an established PGA Tour guy, not a kid, right? It's a different calculus for a Ballester. It's a different calculus for a Caleb Surratt. You know, you're coming right out of college and they offer you all this money. If you're already a guy who has money in the bank, do you go to Live now, right before it sounds like some of the guys from Live might be coming back or there's another deal? It just doesn't. And the money, at least last offseason, was not anywhere near the same that it was before, which is why, you know, their top signing was Tom McKibben a year after their top signing was John Rahm. So I don't know. I'm sure someone will. You know, if they dangle out a $50 million offer, even if it's not $100 million like it would have been before, someone's going to take it for sure. But I don't know. I'll be surprised if, you know, a blue chip, big time blue chip player goes. I just feel like the time to go was already, unless you're a young guy looking for guaranteed money. I think they are using Hudson as a guinea pig, but they can't, right? They can't have one rule for one player and another rule for another player. Like, that doesn't seem fair or correct. But I don't think that they know exactly what they're going to do yet. I don't think they know. Sorry, I'm just answering a couple emails here. Scottie's got 39 feet. With the women U.S. Amateur at Bandon, do you think it's fair to have them play such a different style of golf for a huge tourney? Interesting question, what you're saying, because it's so linksy. Yeah, I don't got a problem with it. Wesley Bryan is going to join Live. Yes, it would seem that way. It would seem that way, given the frosty relationship between the Bryan brothers and the PGA Tour. Those guys have done so much with Live and duels this year, and it makes perfect sense for Wesley. Like, you couldn't have a better candidate, a guy who has said that, you know, he views himself more as a content creator now than he does really a PGA Tour player. He enjoys it more. He wants to have time to still be able to film events. Live, they'll let him film whatever he wants, practice rounds, all that stuff. He can bring his buddies, film throughout the season. Only have to play 14 times. You know, tons of money. And they want to get younger, and they want to. It seems like a no-brainer. Whereas the PGA Tour, he would have to earn his status back. So it does make sense. Yeah, I have to say, them having the BMW in St. Louis is all I've thought about for a year now. Sorry, Chicago, that's a win for me. Can't wait for it. Yeah, good for you. I'll see you there. The superstars have leverage. That's why Tom McKibben was the big name. Liv's best chance is to go after the top 10 through DP World Tour, but I don't know that's not bringing anybody from 6 to midnight, let alone 6 to 9. You know what I mean? Like, is that really gonna? I think they've played their cards. To be honest with you, I think Liv has played their cards. They've succeeded in signing a bunch of amazing players. 5 out of the, that list, the player impact program, when initially was to reward the top players or the big that who contribute the most to golf, whatever it is, like really the biggest stars. They took 5 of 10 from the first list. They've gotten a ton of amazing players. I don't think that signing another player is going to totally change the narrative because the PGA Tour can just coin new stars. You can't buy aura. Ask Newcastle United. If not Live player, content creator for Live for sure. Friends with Rom, Phil, etc. Yes, I agree with the Wesley shout. I definitely agree. I don't know. It'll be interesting if they make George part of that. I don't know. Scottie Scheffler for birdie on 14. This is definitely a lag putt. He's putting back toward the water from about 40 feet. His speed is tremendous. That's going to be a tap-in par for Scottie Scheffler. He will stay at 14 under as he moves to 14. Liv is growing in popularity outside the U.S., says Jerry Winkler. I expect them to focus on international players. I think that's, international college players and stuff. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. All right, Tommy Fleetwood. Oh, taking dead aim on 13. That's a really good shot from Tommy. It's a little bit past pin high, probably about 10 to 12 feet, but 2 flushes right after he finally got a bit of a momentum shift with that birdie putt on the 12th. Dean Burmester won Live Chicago. Yeah, he beat Ballester and Rahm in a playoff. Brooks and Chase 2.0 for Wesley and George. Does Wesley have the pull of Brooks Koepka, especially in 2022 when this thing was just getting off the ground? I'm not sure. Chase played in the Korn Ferry event this week. He Monday qualified. I guess his suspension is over. He missed the cut. He shot 3 over. Let's take a look over at Korn Ferry. What's going on down there? Peter Kest, Robbie Shelton, and Christo Lamprecht, who finished second in PGA Tour. You big 6'9" guy, remember, from South Africa? I think he was leading the Open Championship after one round last year or 2 years ago. Trace Crow, who I'll always be tied at the hip for because my first ever winner's interview was with Mr. Trace Crow at the NV5 Invitational presented by Old National Bank at the beautiful Glen Club. Where's Ben? Miss him, says Alexandra Rice. That sounds like someone who might be related to another person with the last name Rice. Ben is in New Jersey or something. I'm not sure. South Africans are all dickheads, says JDP126. Is that true? Are we just, we're doing that? We're just all South Africans we don't like? Seems a bit broad. Brooks absolutely has to join the PGA Tour again or his career is over. I think he wants to. I don't know anything, but I'm just going off. The difference in when they asked Bryson and Bryson and Brooks about their futures. Bryson's like, I think Liv is game changing. I can't wait to build this thing. Brooks is like, I'm a free agent. It's a business decision. So very, very different approaches. All right, here is Tommy for another birdie on 13. Can he back it up? Yes, he can. Tommy's got 2 in a row, and he is back with his nose in front. You got to make the putts on Sunday. Tommy Fleetwood has struggled to do it. He struggled to do it at the Travelers. He struggled to do it for the first 11 holes today. Didn't have a single birdie. He's now birdied 12 and 13, and we have a new leader, and he's got long hair. Colin gets one to go. There's Colin. Haven't seen his name in a while. A nice 6 under. He's going to finish 22nd. First week with Mark Urbanik on the bag as the Looper Island spins around and spins and spins and spins and spins. Here's Johnny Vegas. Looks like Ricky, Vegas, and Poston are in right now with Aldrich Potgieter being the first out, and Johnny Vegas is done. Entered the week 56, moves up to 49th. That is big time stuff. Another top 10 for our boy Shipley on the KFT this weekend. Thank you, Jerry Winkler, for calling that out. He's been playing so well, man. I was so impressed with him when we played those 9 holes. I played with him after we filmed the Burger Shoot. I played some golf with Burger and Shipley. He's the real deal, man. Yeah, 72 in the first round, 67, 65, 67. Still third in the points. Andrew Novak gets another birdie. Talking about another guy who's desperate to make a Ryder Cup statement. Absolutely desperate. He moves up to 7th at 10 under. Needs a really, really hot playoffs. Shipley is already locked up for his card. That is correct, JDP. Johnny Vegas has 1,008 points. He is comfortable into BMW, says Joseph Boza. Okay, thank you, Boza. So what's the deal, Boza? The only thing left is Ricky. Is that right? He's the only one who can really move things either way. They're showing two of Tommy's putts. The first one right in the center. The second one also right in the center. You know who his putting coach is Phil Kenyon. Phil Kenyon I've been trying to get him on the show. It's been difficult. He's a busy guy. He's a busy guy. We taking Novak or Cam Young for U.S. Ryder Cup chat. I feel like Cam Young's more of a proven entity. They're both playing really well right now, but I just think the New York thing with Cam Young and how far he hits it, he's a real asset on that team. Okay, Scottie Scheffler on 15. This is narrow tree line. He's got the 3-wood out, which he hit left before. This one is also left. It looks like he got through that tree. Might never get through trees like that, but that's a couple left ones in a row for Scottie with the fairway woods. What a difference a week makes. This is our award for gutting out the 8-shot win. That's exactly right, lads. I said that earlier in the stream. If you're here, drop a like for how much better this golf tournament is than the one last week, because that was brutal. Man, was that brutal. What were we talking? We were probably talking about the Lusitania at this point. The sinking of the Lusitania. We were talking about Vanderbilt mansions. We were talking a lot. Next week is the last chance for the 6 to lock in for the Ryder Cup. They're doing a little swing breakdown here of Scottie. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of movement. You know, this is an interesting spot though, because you know, with Ted Scott on the bag, Ted probably feels like he can step in and say, "Hey, slow it down." You know, hey, you're moving your head too far forward, whatever it might be. I don't know exactly what he's working on, but you know, Ted has that sort of equity that they've built up over the last couple of years, where he can be like, "I think you need to do this." I don't think that his friend who's caddying for him today, the tour chaplain, I don't think he's saying the same thing. I think he's probably just keeping his mouth shut, carrying the bag up, and trying not to slow anybody down. Guys, I'd like to give a special thanks to Zone nicotine pouches for all that they do. Warning: this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Underage sale prohibited. I just want to say, I always have them in the bag. When I need to dial things in on the course, I go with the Zone nicotine pouches. They have a stronger nick intensity. The others aren't even close. They have better flavors. They last longer, and they're more comfortable than any other pouch out there. Lately, my go-to is the mint 6 milligram, but I'm going with the citrus today. You got to change it up a little bit. I've talked about this before. They make 7 flavors in 6 and 9 milligrams. And the big game changer, these have 20 instead of 15. So more bang for your buck. I mean, if you want more, I won't play 18 without at least one can of Zone in my bag. If you want Zone pouches at a discount and mailed right to your door, head to nicokick.com, NICOKICK.com, and enter code DANONGolf20 at checkout for an additional 20% off. All right, we are back with Tommy Fleetwood. Coming off back-to-back birdies, we are on the par 3 14th. There is water short right. It's a back right pin. Tommy likes to hit draws. This is not the most comfortable pin for him, so I would just expect him to aim it at the middle of the bunker and just sort of accept 30 feet. Do not need to do anything crazy here. It's left. Is that going to be long left too? It looks long left. No, not long left. Stays on the fringe. He'll be able to putt that. Kind of what we expected, right, from Tommy. You know, it's a lesson for all of you out there. Sometimes it's the wrong number. Sometimes it's the wrong pin position. You don't have to force it. You don't have to try to make a birdie every single time you're out there, especially not on a par 3. Especially not on a par 3. I got a skull straight in now. It may be time to try to switch to Zone. I agree, Jerry. It's a lot cleaner. I'll tell you that much. I used to do the proper pouches or the long cut, all that stuff. It's just way easier. We were, yeah. Well, Joseph Boza says that we were yakking about stupid stuff last week. I think learning about the history of this great nation and the mega billionaires who built it is pretty relevant right now. You know, did you guys know about the Biltmore estate? Did you know about Idle House? Did you know about Woodley, the Vanderbilt estate that is now the clubhouse of the Sleepy Hollow Country Club? I don't think you did. Nobody talking Can't Lay at Caves. People forget already. We did a watch along. We rewatched that, and you could see Bryce. They hate each other. Bryson's like, can you stop moving, Patrick? It's electric. That video did 1 million views for us on Instagram, which was, I think, one of our first Millie Burgers of us being like, oh my God, he said it to Patrick. Okay, Justin Rose, also a drawer, also on 14. This one's starting on a braver line. It's holding its line. It's not cutting. It's a little left of the flag. What a lovely, beautiful shot from Justin Rose there. But he's 3 back. He's 3 back of his playing partner, so he knows what he needs to do. He's getting a good front and center look at it. Advantage Rose off the tee on 14, but advantage Tommy on the leaderboard. Do I miss dipping? No, this stuff does it all. I mean, maybe once in a while. College football Saturday. Sorry for saying it was stupid. I'm just giving you crap, Joseph Boza. I was so turned off by the tournament because of Cameron Young's demeanor that I zoned out for the great stuff we learned. Yeah, Cameron Young's not going to. I tried to crack him after the interview. I was like, what are you going to celebrate? Come on. We got to celebrate. And he was like, no, don't think so. I'm really just trying to get back home to my kids. So, yeah, that's where we're at. All right, Scotty's in a spot of bother here. The Biltmore. You are golf's Anderson Cooper, except for I'm not a literal Vanderbilt like Anderson Cooper is. How crazy that Jordan, Jake Knapp, and Wyndham Clark will have to depend on sponsor invites to play signature events next year. Second year in a row for Jordan. How about even crazier that Joaquin Neiman has won 5 events on LIV, 5 of the 12, and Rahm is ahead of him in the points. I understand they got the point system. You get a certain amount of points for winning, certain amount of points for second. Guy wins like 50% of your tournaments and he's not in first place in the season-long race. I feel like I'm doing that meme. Is that, do you guys also, like, if you win 5 of the 11 events, shouldn't you be like first place by a long way? Especially because they don't count majors. It's just LIV events. If I ask you who's been the best player on LIV this year, you'd say, I don't know, the guy who's won 5 events. Nah. All right, Scotty's hit it under the trees. It looks like he's got to go under, then over on 15. Oh, what a shot. Is that going to stay, though? It's got a lot of heat. It misses the bunker. Ends up in a pretty decent spot, does Scottie Scheffler. That was a risky shot there on 15. Looked like he had to go under some trees, over some water. It landed almost pin high, just left of it. Yeah, he had a window, though. He definitely had a window. And you can see it flying right through that window. Look at how he holds that club face open. So steady. He's scrambling, though. He's scrambling. Going to have to get up and down from long of 15. Here's Ricky Fowler on the 16th. His third, a birdie would go a mega long way here. He plays a low spinner. Does it now trickle down? It does not. That thing grabbed on the club face. So Ricky's going to have about 15 feet. Scotty's got 37 feet. Or he's 37 yards past it. Let's see if we can get a good look here. Okay, Fleetwood going with the... Is that a different... That's not the claw that he normally does, is it? Is that a different grip for Tommy? Yeah, guys, am I crazy or is that a different grip that he's using for the long putt there? I feel like he gripped that a little differently. One of the reasons I went away from the claw is I couldn't hit it hard enough, and he didn't hit that one hard enough on 14. But was that a little bit of a different grip? Was he holding that instead of like across it? Or am I crazy? I could be crazy. Walko is on the first place. John has options of winning, but he is behind. Come on, Fleetwood. What I'm saying is he should be way ahead. If we finish like this, Scotty would have a 2,000 point lead over Tommy. Mathematically, Scotty would lock up the money bonus for leading after BMW. Right, so 2,000 points for winning next week. You saw the PGA Tour. A lot of people freak out after Rory decided not to play this week. Imagine Scotty just says, I'm not playing next week. I'm going to win the $5 million no matter what. I'm going home. Bennett's been pretty funny recently. I want to watch some preseason football, some Cowboys. Here's Ricky for birdie. Crawl. Doesn't get there. Come on, Fleetwood, says Bittinger. A lot of Tommy love in the chat. Here's Bud Colley on 18. After we saw that amazing, awesome hoop on 17 to essentially lock up his position. How's his lag putt here on 18? It's rolled a little bit past, but I think he's going to be okay. I think Bud Colley is going to be okay. All right, here's Rose to get to 2 back on 14 green. Has he hit it hard enough? Yes, he has. Justin Rose bounces back from a bogey. He is now to 13 under, and all of a sudden we could have a 2-shot swing on the 14th hole, perhaps a little Mongolian reversal situation. Justin Rose makes his birdie putt from about 15 feet. Tommy's got about 7 to save par. What a roll there from Justin Rose. I'm pulling for my boy JJ, says Murica FPV. What about Trump calling the DP World Tour winner today? What a weird piece of content. I saw that. It wasn't weird until he was like, you want to come play tomorrow if you can get on a plane? And then the guy was like, yeah, let's do it, Mr. President. And I feel like he probably hung up that call and was like, so did I, like, what? Was that real? Am I doing that? Are we doing that? I almost don't even know if Trump remembers saying it. Scottie going with a low runner on 15. He's judged it really, really nicely. Really nicely has Scottie Scheffler. He'll have about 6 feet coming up to save his par. Now we've got Tommy for par on 14, and the putts are dropping a little bit for Tommy Fleetwood. That's now 3 in a row. That's a birdie on 12. It's a birdie on 13, and it's a big clutch par save on 14. And Tommy Fleetwood maintains his 1-shot advantage with 4 holes to go. Let's go, baby. Drop us a like. We're getting fun. We're getting fun in the chat here. I'm enjoying this with you guys. I'm enjoying this after last week, man. We made it through an absolute Armageddon of a stream. That's what I'm calling it. I'm calling it an Armageddon of a stream. It was the great stream disaster. The great stream disaster of early August 2025. I have a shirt that says, I survived the great toilet paper shortage of April 2020. I think I'm going to get a shirt that says, I survived the great stream disaster of August 2025. Bud Cauley has made his par. What a good week for Bud. We will see him next week at the BMW Championship at Caves Valley. Liv's point system is somehow more confusing than the Tour's point system. So confirmed that. I'm going to look it up. Confirm that that Waco's in first place. Let's see. Live standings. Live Golf 2025 standings. Yeah. Neiman's up, but Rahm can still win it, despite Rahm not having 1 win and Neiman has 5. But Neiman's gone, it's funny, Neiman's gone T33 first, T12 first, T33 first, T20 first, T23, T23 first, T17. So he's got no top 10s except for his 5 wins. Whereas John Rahm, T2, 6, T6, T5, T9, 4, T7, T8, T11, second, T5, second. All right, Scottie for par. Hopefully we get a worm cam here. Big reveal, huh? Waited for a while. You guys are like, whoa. I was already loving the stream, and then you put the worm cam hat and the room started to shift because of weirdness. I survived the Lusitania. Think Scottie will win. No, I'm feeling Tommy today. I was a manager at Target during the toilet paper crisis. Wow. Can only imagine how that went down. It was dark there for a second. I survived, though. I survived. All right. This is a huge, huge putt for the future of this tournament, for the future of Tommy Fleetwood's career, really. A par putt from Scottie Scheffler, and he misses it on the right side. That was not a great stroke. Looked like he pushed it a little bit. He's looking at his caddy, asking him, almost muscle memory, because I don't think the caddy's going to respond the same way that Ted Scott would. Scottie misses. So we've seen Scottie get up and down a few times from spots of bother. Not that time on 15. And all of a sudden, Tommy Fleetwood has a 2-shot lead on Scottie Scheffler, but JJ Spaun hanging tough at 14 under. He is just 1 behind. Tommy on 15. He's got less than driver once again. Come on, Tommy. We're flipping into Tommy mode. There's 4 holes left. I'm getting nervous. I tell you guys every week I get nervous. It makes no sense. Looks like a good pass from Tommy. Starts right, drawing steadily. Yeah, he's doing that quick tee pickup again. He's hit that same shot with that 3-wood. quite a few times. That 164 ball speed, flush little draw. Tommy's hitting it nice into the fairway on 15. That'll be a much, much simpler shot than Scottie Scheffler had into that hole. Let's see if Tommy can get through that with a par. How long was that putt that Scottie missed? Let's see. Hole green. It was... No, that's not right. It was 6 feet 8 inches. 6 feet 8 inches for the miss there. And then we've got Tommy 271 into the fairway. And we can even see the scatter plot in the fairway. Man, look who hit it down there. Jordan Spieth, he must have hit driver. He must have said YOLO. Wyndham Clark hit it down there. Kevin Yu hit it down there. Keegan hit it down there. This is cool. This is really cool. This is really, really cool. So this is 3-wood. Pretty much all these guys hit 3-wood, it seems like. And you can see the dispersion. Not perfect. It's a scatter plot. You're only seeing the best on TV. You're seeing the best players play the best. It's a reminder, there's a lot of guys who kind of bailed out, half bailed out, hit it in the rough over here. You just don't see it as much. You're learning. We're always learning. We're always learning on this stream. We're always learning on Tourcast. Let's get, what's his name up there? Let's get our boy up there. Yeah, let's get Rose up there. Rose, we didn't see his, but that looks like it caught the fairway as well. I think he'll be far enough where he won't have any tree issues. Last time Ted wasn't on the bag for Scottie, he went +2. Yeah, I do remember that. He shot, I think, 6 under the round when he stretched in a jail cell in the morning. And then, I don't know if it was like a drop of adrenaline or, you know, the gravity of what happened the day before finally hit him. He's probably on a crazy amount of adrenaline the day before. Or not having Ted in there. But, yeah, that was like the only bad round that Scottie played there and the U.S. Open. It was only too bad. It was like the only bad rounds at all that he had the whole year. If he bottles this. He's not bottling this. He might get beat. Tommy might get beat, but he's not bottling it. I feel it. I feel it in my bones. It's a different energy today. It's a different energy today. All right, Ben Griffin, who I am upgrading to a shoe-in for the Ryder Cup. Ben Griffin is putting for birdie on the 16th. This hole is going to be pivotal. Scottie's about to go to this hole, par 5. Fleetwood's got one more before he gets to this hole, par 5. This is going to be this. It could flip everything on this hole. Ben Griffin's putt just slides by, trickles out to about 3 feet. If Tommy loses this, it's because somebody beat him as of right now, but there's still a lot of golf left. Here is Ricky Fowler. Whenever I see this hole, oh, I thought that was 18. I always think of, remember when Dustin Johnson hit it to like this far? It was like a walk-off win. That was pretty sweet. That was before this was a playoff event. But Ricky's come up well short of the bunker. He's got a few points to spare. I don't know what they're saying on the broadcast. They've got a guy in their ear. Buddy texted the group chat, another week of JT outside the top 20, but I'm supposed to believe he's a top player in the world, LOL. Hasn't been as good the second half of the year, that's for sure. JJ Spaun hitting a butter cut right down the middle. That was pretty. Set it up just kind of over that left side, over the branches, let it cut toward the middle of the fairway. Spaun is in the middle on 16. And Scottie will be looking to hit one on a very similar line. Also starting with his feet and his shoulder line. He looks like he's going to hit that cut, his go-to shot. On 16 on the par 5, big tee shot will dictate whether they can go forward in 2. That looked like a great pass. Yeah, very, very similar shot there. Even higher, 125 feet in the air for Scottie. Big high cut that flies JJ Spaun's ball. That one was hit on the screws. So Scottie should be able to get there without any incident. Cantlay, I'm protesting. I'm protesting. It's just the most meaningless top 10 in the world. It's not, obviously. He's a great player. He's very consistent in the non-majors. But this guy is just, until the Masters, I'm on a little bit of a boycott. He didn't hole out, Josh, I don't think. Oh, did he hole out? I thought he hit it to like an inch. Maybe he did hole out. I think you're right about that. Isn't that amazing how your brain just remembers things that aren't true? Like I had the image of the ball stopping right next to the hole in my head. Like that is an actual image in my head, and it just didn't happen. I think it went in. I think you're right. I think Cantley's making a case for himself, or do we think that's too far gone? I want it to be too far gone. I still have this nagging feeling that he's going to make the team, and I think the reason there is because of what he did at the President's Cup. He was one of the best players on the team because of what he did at the Ryder Cup, breathing life into that team with the hat situation. And I think being really good friends with Xander Schauffele. It's just one of those pairings you can send out there. You can put them first, and you know what you're getting. Dart there from Justin Rose, a really good visual for Tommy to look at. So that's going to be about 10 feet from above the hole. Tommy's even a little bit closer than that. We got Andrew Novak putting for birdie on 16, climbing up his way up the board. Remember, we still have 2 more weeks before this Ryder Cup decision is finished. Andrew Novak gets a birdie. He's at 11 under par now, and he is in a tie for 5th. So a good finish against a really, really strong field coming here for Andrew Novak. Tommy is an even 100 yards. It's a sand wedge. This is a shot that on Tuesday afternoon, he's hitting it right next to the flag. He's thinking about how close can I get it. Let's see how the nerves are right here. We're gonna learn a lot about how he's feeling. Oh, he's feeling good. He is feeling good. Just right of the flag. It's maybe a yard or 2 long. It's 6 feet for birdie for Tommy Fleetwood on the 15th hole before he gets to a par 5. Tommy is playing with a different confidence, a different steadiness on this back 9. Meanwhile, Scottie's only going to have 209, and we know how freaking high this guy can hit his long iron, so Scottie could easily make it 3. This tournament is hot right now. It's very hot right now. What a shot by Tommy. Hope you're right. Patty Ice is a fun nickname, and Patty Ice is a fun nickname and all, but not one I care to see either. Yeah, I'm just hoping that he doesn't make the team this year because you can't finish tied for 36 in the Masters, miss the cut in the rest of the 3 majors, and then still make the team. That's just, making the cut at the Masters is not impressive. It's like you're playing, you got 8 old timers who are 60. You've got 5 amateurs. There's only 85 guys in the field. You're one of the best players in the world. I'm not impressed by it. It's a T36 at the Masters is not a T36 at Oakmont. Speaking of Oakmont, we're back in the middle of the fairway with JJ Spaun on 16. Tommy does have some swag today. I completely agree with you guys. JJ Spaun from 225, so 25 yards further out from Scottie. He's got that one way up in the air. 100 feet apex with the long iron, but it misses right. It misses right of the green. Does JJ Spaun, stays in the fairway. So now we're going to see Scottie. Could be a 7 iron. I don't know what the wind's doing. It's definitely not more than 6, maybe 5 if it's back into the wind, but I don't see it. Chris Kirk on 17. He needs to birdie these last 2, I would think, to have a chance. Oh, man, did that look like it was going in for a long time? Look at that look on his face. He feels the exact same way I do. That's a man who's going to have to learn non-signature events. Let's get ready to learn American Express, buddy. Get ready to learn American Express. It's because of the Boys Club that Patrick may make it. Ditto, Dan Patrick shouldn't make it. Dan Patrick is a very famous broadcaster. I know that's what you weren't trying to do there, but you did just call me Dan Patrick. All right. You guys all talking about Fleetwood and his swag. His swag might be different if Scottie Scheffler does a Scottie Scheffler thing here. He has thrown that way up in the air, and it's cutting. I think that's going to miss right, too. Yep. Lands on the right side of the green, but rolls off a ridge down to probably a pretty similar spot to JJ Spaun, a little bit closer, so somewhat of a missed opportunity there for Scottie Scheffler. We've got Ricky, who's projected 48th putting for par on 17 with the lab. This is a huge putt, and it goes in the right side of the hole. Ricky Fowler, big-time par save. He stays at 10 under, and he's looking good to advance to the BMW. If Spieth had the same data as Cantlay, he would definitely be on the Ryder Cup. If my aunt had testicles... you can finish that sentence. Tommy is currently minus 333. Yeah, it's because he's in there tight for a birdie for a couple shot lead. But here's Justin Rose. We talked about Mongolian reversals. We could see one right here. Justin Rose is probably double the length of Tommy Fleetwood, both putting for birdie on 15. Right before they get to the par 5 16th, Justin Rose has backed off. He does the thing where he tucks his left. It's actually funny because Tommy Fleetwood, when I filmed a video with him when I was at Barstool, made fun of me for doing this tuck. Wonder if he's making fun of Justin Rose today. Probably not. All right, let's see it from Jay Rose to get to 14 under. He's got it. He has got it, I think. Yep. That was purely based on mannerisms because Tommy walked right in front of the hole. God damn it, Tommy. It's a birdie for Justin Rose. That's back-to-back birdies. So he has stormed back, dropped down to 12 under. He's now 14 under through 15 holes and just 1 shot behind Tommy Fleetwood. It was never going to be easy. What app or site is that on the top right? That is just the Tourcast on the PGA Tour website. Bro's grip is half the putter. Looks like a pool noodle grip. I don't know who you're talking about. You talking about Tommy? Ricky will have to par 18 to make it. He is at 1,015 points. JT is at Poston is at 996. Okay, so Ricky needs a par. Here you go. What do you think of the cleats so far? You talking about the Live team? What Rose clutch with the putter? Cleek's best uniforms on Live. Yeah, because your buddy makes the uniforms. Ben, you're not fooling anybody here, big guy. Ben leaves the stream and just puts spam in the chat. Just putting absolute fake news in the chat. That's what you get when you miss, Ben. All right, Tommy for birdie. This would be huge. This would be 4 big putts in a row. He had the 2 birdies. He had the par save. He's got this aimed well outside the hole on the left. This is a great worm cam. It finds the right side of the hole, and that's another birdie for Tommy Fleetwood to 16 under. What a stretch. No birdies for his first 11 holes. He birdies 12. He birdies 13. He pours in a clutch par putt on 14, and then birdies 15, headed to the par 5 16th. And this is when you text your friends. It's Tommy time. It feels like Tommy time. There's 3 holes to go. One of them is a par 5. He's got a 2-shot lead. He's got a 3-shot lead at present over Scottie Scheffler, though I do feel like Scottie's about to chip in. I don't know why. I do feel like Scottie's about to chip in. Dan is more sillier on the chat. Ben is more sillier on the chat. Come on, Tommy, says Robert Moliterno. Fleetwood might finally get it done, says Chase S. It definitely feels that way. 16 is a par 5. Tommy could put it away on 16. A birdie on 16 would go a really long way, especially if Scottie cannot get that up and down, or JJ Spaun cannot get that up and down. Let's not forget, JJ Spaun is just 2 back. He's just 2 back, and a birdie on 16. My math carry the 1 that would bring him to 1 back. So again, this is far from over. We saw Tommy do some very, very silly things down the stretch at the Travelers. But if I told Tommy Fleetwood at the beginning of the day, he started with a 1-shot lead. I said, if you would have birdied 3 of your last 4 for a 2-shot lead with 3 holes to go, one of which being a par 5, he said, let's go. He would say, let's go. I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to do it. Hey, Ben, says Chase says, Tommy's stopwatch blue hand timer. Is Tommy, you're saying he's being slow or game over? What does that one mean? Scottie has 66 feet 3 inches. Iquona, welcome to the chat, says this is exciting. This is very exciting. This is very, very exciting. Hopefully this is our last commercial break, or our last one for a little while here. I'm looking at some Hyundais in the chat. We got Ricky playing 18, needing to make a par to make it to the BMW Championship. We've got Tommy Fleetwood trying to finally get that first win. We've got Scottie Scheffler trying to just continue being the big, hairy American winning machine. We've got Justin Rose, who's had some real heartbreaks in the last couple of years. You know, tournaments that he would have felt like he's going to win. Oh, damn it, guys. Do you see that? Should we turn off the Tourcast? Season 2 of the watch along, we will find a way to make sure that this doesn't happen. I don't know if it's possible, but we'll go back to Tommy. Dan, don't watch the movie Weapons. It was trash, bro. Okay, I won't watch it. JJ Spaun is going to be a spoiler. Hope not. Got money on the other 3. There it is. Every week we've got someone in the chat who's financially invested. And, none of those people donate to the chat, which I think is, just something to make note of. You just lost everything. Chillin' Dylan. I hope you don't mean like everything. Like you're okay. Would you cook lobster on a Blackstone? I don't eat shellfish at all. So no, I would not cook lobster on a Blackstone. All right, Spawn's 3rd into 16. He plays a low spinner, sort of similar to Ricky's, but Ricky's checked up way earlier. That's a better effort from Spaun. That's going to be about 8 feet for birdie for JJ Spaun. And then we're going to see Scottie Scheffler here on a very, very similar line. His 3rd shot into 16. A little bit more shallow there. Didn't take much turf. That one's creeping, crawling. That's a pretty good one there from Scheffler. Those putts are probably pretty much equidistant for both of those guys. Scheffler's just to get to 14. Spaun, here it is to get to 15 and keep the pressure on Tommy, and he's got it. This guy's a gamer. You win the United States Championship the way that he did, making a 60-foot birdie putt to be the only guy finished under par at Oakmont. It was perfect scoring conditions, and the course was that hard that only one guy finished under par. He's not going away. JJ Spaun to 15 under, and the lead is cut to 1. Big tee shot here for Tommy, and we're not getting the Tour Tracer. We're not getting the Tour Tracer on this big tee shot. Don't need it. Don't need it when Tommy's taking one look and picking it up right away. Another peach from Fleetwood off the tee on 16, 306 yards. He's going to have an iron in. And one of his strengths is those long irons, how much he flushes them. James, I believe Nike contract has something else to do with it. Do you think there's a lack of leadership from Brooks Koepka on Team Smash because he doesn't wear the uniform? How can you lead from the front and not wear the team uniform? I think every deal with Liv was different, especially in the beginning there. Brooks was one of the first to go, and I think he probably said, I'm not wearing the uniform, and a contract is a contract. All right, Scottie. I'm going to say Scottie needs this. I'm going to say Scottie needs this to stay in the tournament. Birdie putt on 16, it goes. So Scottie to 14 under. He is tied with Justin Rose. Still in it. Still in it is the big, hairy American winning machine. Scheffler is back. Where did he go? Where did he go? Where did he go? The last tournament he played, he won his fourth major championship, second of the year. I wouldn't say he's back. I'd say that guy never left. Akshay Bhatia trying to finish with a birdie. He was up near the lead after a couple rounds, and he just dove across the hole. Remember that. Breaks a lot to the player's left, or if they're past the pin, to the right on 18. Oh, a big break there because Akshay's looked really good for a long time. Still a good week for Akshay Bhatia. He's in a tie for 7th, 10 under par. More than enough to advance for Akshay. It's funny how every week like clockwork on the 16th hole, the viewers double in here. Yeah, because people get excited to watch the final round of the tournament. All right, Andrew Novak on 17. Lands at 1 short, 2 short. Took a lot of speed off it, did those bounces in the beginning. So Andrew Novak will have about 8 feet for par on 17. I call it, this is sort of the Wikipedia division now. The reason I call it that is because we look back at major finishes always, and the yellow score on Wikipedia. If a guy's not going to win the tournament, he's in the Wikipedia. It's like, is it going to be a T3 or T8? That's where Andrew Novak is. And if he's going to build a Ryder Cup, push, you want those numbers to be as high as they can. Every number counts. Got to get the captain's attention. Chris Kirk stays well right of the green on 18, but it does kind of fold, or does kind of lean that way, the whole green. So if you can put a draw in there, you can access that green. It looks like Ricky's hit a really nice one here on 18. Needs a par to make it to the BMW. Does Ricky Fowler, and he's hit a beauty in there. He's hit a beauty, has Ricky. Well played. Just a little right of the hole. Takes a little bit of a roll to the left. That's about 12, 14 feet. Ricky Fowler is looking very, very, very good to get to the BMW, and there are going to be takes about how many sponsor invites he got. Life's not fair. Life is just not fair. Okay, JJ Spaun on 17. Beefy par 4. Starts down the left. We don't have the tracer. He's leaning a little bit. Is it not cutting? Is it not cutting down the left side? It is cutting. It's in the right side of the fairway. No problem there from JJ Spaun. Another very, very solid tee shot. I mean, Scheffler's back in the tournament. That's fair, Logan. Sorry, I didn't mean to clown you there. All right, Andrew Novak. We're in the Wikipedia division here. Nice worm cam, but that's not going to break enough. Isn't it just way better watching a putt that way than any other way? Novak and Ben Griffin. That is a big-time Ryder Cup bubble group. Novak certainly more on the outside than Ben Griffin is. Ricky was one that depended on captain's picks and played well on sponsor invites. Man, JJ Spaun is scaring me, says Max Brady. Yeah, this guy's won a U.S. Open. That's, I think, the hardest golf tournament to win. Winning a U.S. Open at Oakmont, nothing's going to faze you. Nothing is going to faze you. He's TPC South. This guy conquered Oakmont. This guy conquered the golf course that made a major champion lose his mind and vandalize the locker room. He left with the trophy. It's not the same with JJ Spaun. Tourcast Ricky if you can. Sorry, guys. That was probably from a little while ago, but Ricky's got 11 feet. He's just got a 2-putt from 11 feet. Okay, we're going to go back to Scottie because I don't want to mess with the Tommy approach. This is a big one here. What app is the tracer? That's just Tourcast on the PGA Tour website. Does position 7 to 12 make it easy to be in the captain's mind heading into the Ryder Cup picks being locked in? Yeah, definitely. A guy can go down the list and it's not going to be controversial. He could say he's the next best players. It's when he starts to skip guys in the top 12 that it's almost a personal, like, you didn't pick me, you know? Like if you finish 9th and he picks 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, then there's a reason that the 9th didn't get picked. So yeah, I definitely think that finishing in the top 12 finishing in the top 12 basically means that like you're putting it on the captain to not pick you. Rory will win the player of the year for sure. I would rather have a Grand Slam and 2 other big wins than 2 majors and a CJ Cup. I don't know if I agree. 2 majors beats 1. That didn't happen last year. Everyone went with Scottie still. We'll see. It'll be an interesting vote. It'll be a very interesting vote. Yeah, Rory did win the players too. So does finally, but also you're supposed to vote on it's player of the year. It's not player of the generation. If it was player of the generation after this year, Rory would win it because of the career Grand Slam. But is it really fair to count the career Grand Slam and all that that meant into this award that is supposed to be determined by 1 year, I'm not sure. Ricky built his persona, which is why he got invites. Life's not fair. Life's not fair. He was ahead of the curve, you could say. Scottie career top 10, says Ben, is 72 out of 146. Going to be 73 out of 147 after today. Okay, second shot from Rose into the par 5. It's high. It's turning further left. It is turning way further left than the other ones. It misses short left. Gets into the fat part of the bunker, though. That shouldn't be too bad. Now let's see if Tommy can take another big step toward winning this golf tournament. Scheffler with a fairway wood off the tee on 17. He struggled with this one, hit it left a few times. That looked like a better pass. Bleeding on the right, kind of on a similar line to JJ Spaun, but finds the fairway. Definitely a little bit back. Players major, basically, John Lee. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I would probably, who would I vote for player of the year? I don't know. I don't know. I need to think about it. All right, here it is. Big time shot from Tommy Fleetwood here. 225, trying to hit it between the two towers. He fatted it. He must have fatted it. Otherwise, why is he one-arming it? He blocked it. He blocked it. He blocked it. It is right next to the grandstand. That was a big opportunity for Tommy there to put one hand on the trophy, as we like to say here, but he's going to get a drop. He won't have to worry about the grandstand, but from the middle of the fairway, as you can see with his reaction, he will not be very pleased with that shot. Chris Kirk, birdies 18. What does that do? Does that do something crazy? Does that do something crazy? No, it doesn't. It looks like he's going to be one short. Looks like he's going to be one short. And look, all those putts that just didn't go in for Chris Kirk. Every year, these guys hit thousands and thousands and thousands of shots, and it always comes down to one. You see a little fist pump from Ricky there. Don't know if he's going to hang around to congratulate the guy with the trophy. Feels like that kind of internet meme has died down, but still rooting for his playing partners. Love to see it from Ricky. Vibes guy, big time vibes guy. All right, Ricky for birdie to leave absolutely no doubt. There's no doubt anyway. He's not three-putting this. Just slides by on the low side. He should be able to tap that in. We're giving that to him. It's about 10 inches maybe. He's going to take his time. He's going to take his time because he knows what this putt means. It always comes down to one stroke. Ricky Fowler is through to the BMW Championship. James Raniere, I understand Ben, but clearly has put himself above the team. There's no I in team. My son wanted to be a Team Smash fan, but I told him this, and he was disappointed. He likes the cliques too. All right, we've got some junior live fans in the chat. Scheffler and Spaun both made bird there, so we good. Yeah, both. I see what you're saying. Scheffler and Spaun both made birdie from the same position that Tommy is going to be in. Yeah, but they're not. They weren't leading the tournament. Yeah, he's getting a good graphic here. The guys who moved up: Kitayama, Cauley, Fowler, and I just went off the screen. I just went on the screen. Just went off the screen again. Potgater was the big loser this week. What a week by Ricky. 66, 69, 66, 69. Excellent golf numbers. Last week, we just had Chris Kirk getting in. This week, we had 5 guys getting in. Yeah, guys played their way. They get lucky with the grandstand free drop, Dan. I agree, but, that grandstand's not egregious. I've seen a lot worse that are, I feel like in the LPGA, sometimes in majors, they're right off the back of the green, and it's like, what are we doing here? Scheffler into 17. It's a long iron. It's way up in the air. It's slightly cutting. It's well short. Not well short, but a little bit short of pin high. That's a tough pin to get to from where he was. Going to be difficult for Scottie to get a birdie there on 17. Let's shift our attention hopefully back to 16. Now we're going to stay with JJ Spaun, he hit driver when Scottie hit the 3-wood. So, and JJ will have seen where Scottie's landed. JJ's a dangerous player right now because he doesn't need the points. He's already he's a 2-time winner. He's a major champion. The major wasn't very long ago. He's got a bunch of confidence. Tommy will be dealing with more internal noise than JJ right now. Scheffler has lost, basically. He can make a putt. Ryder Cup prep is ruining my tee times. What do you mean by that, John Lee? Oh, there's an alarm going off in my house. It just stopped. That was going to put me in a tough spot because Mrs. Rapp is not here. That would have put me in a really, really tough spot. Okay, JJ is certainly taking his time with this approach on 17. Probably talking clubs. Is he going to take one less and try to feather it into that back right pin, or is he going to hit one a little bit harder and maybe not turn it left to right as much? Checking the wind, checking it thrice, trying to make out who's naughty or nice. All right, he's finally approaching it. Hard to get a tee time at Bethpage, and the courses will close soon. When does the course close at Bethpage? I don't. They're all closing that week, I would imagine. But like, when does the red close versus the black? Do you know? All right, Spaun is 30 yards closer than Scottie, so probably can be a little bit more aggressive with his line. It is on a more aggressive line. It's on a much more aggressive line from JJ Spaun. It's a wonderful shot. Just kind of short of a ridge a little bit, but that's still very makeable. Probably 17, 18 feet for JJ Spaun. Scheffler has 27 feet. Now let's get our ass back to 16. Here we go. Tommy Fleetwood's taking a drop into some nice first cut grass. That's got to slow down or hit the flag. It's got to slow down. 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 It's not slowing down. That is a horrible shot from Tommy Fleetwood. Horrible. The only place that you can't hit that is over the green. We saw Ricky come up short. It was fine. We saw JJ Spaun hit a spinner that just trickled out. The only place that Tommy could not hit that was over the green. We did not think this was going to be like he was going to birdie 16 and then par 17 and par like do we really think that's how it was going to go with Tommy Fleetwood trying to win his first tournament? Horrible break by Tommy. Is that a bad break or did he hit a terrible shot? He got a great drop. The ball was sitting up. I don't know if that's a bad break, but here's Justin Rose. This is a pretty doable bunker shot. This is a very doable bunker shot. Don't be surprised if this dances near the hole. He's left it well short. He's left it about 8 feet short. But those are two guys who are not very excited about those two shots. Justin Rose, man, what a thespian. You know, talk about guys who can act with their eyes. Justin Rose like this. If it had gone in, he wouldn't have been like, he's the most demonstrative. Obviously not going to be the one who's like going the craziest, but you can always tell with Justin Rose, he plays it up. I'm trying to be supportive, says Joseph Boza. Fair enough. Welcome to Hartford, my friends. I hope this is not, he's doing the Everton again, says Justin Holland. If Tommy loses this, the memes are going to be a really, really tough to handle. He's got the putter out. So the mission here is just to make a 5 and preserve that lead. Oh, man. After that second shot, after that drop, you're thinking he's going to have 10 feet for birdie, and that thing rolled all the way down that hill. So it's so easy with the pressure to leave this short. It's so easy with the pressure to leave this short. And is he going to do that different putting grip where he kind of grips the club more so? Yeah, he is. You can see his right index finger's under the club as opposed to over it. Yeah, there is a chance Tommy bogeys here. He's putting from off the green for his 4th. And he's left it pretty short. I kind of felt like that was going to happen. It's so hard to hit that hard enough. That's going to be a good 5 feet for par. Tommy has earned, what, $30 million almost on the PGA Tour without winning? Yeah, more than anybody else, I think. They're running through his runner-ups right now. Mexico, U.S. Open, shot 63 in the final round at Shinnecock. He looked even more like Jesus back then. The beard's filled out nicely. 2019 Zurich Classic of New Orleans, he finished 2nd. There's another major in there. Yeah, the Open Championship. He was well behind Shane. But yeah, 2019 Open, he finished 2nd. 2023 RBC Canadian Open when Nick Taylor made a 72-footer on top of him. That's when his caddy and I got into it on foreplay. And then 2025 Travelers Championship when Keegan leapfrogged him right at the end. Is JJ Spaun going to leapfrog him at the end? Could Justin Rose leapfrog him? Justin Rose has got a putt to get to 15 under. So does Scottie Scheffler. We're going to hop over to Scottie Scheffler first. What a watch along. Drop us a like, subscribe to the channel, do all that fun stuff, guys. This is fantastic. Okay. Scottie Scheffler for birdie on 17. We got a nice view from behind the hole here. Got to keep his pace up. That's going to miss to the left. Okay, so Scottie's looking like he's going to make a par on 17. Big putt here for Justin Rose to get to 1. He could be tied for the lead after this. It's a putting competition at this point. Scheffler needs a bird on 18. Shinnecock gave him a pass. Brooks somehow hung on at 1+1. He gave Brooks pressure. Great worm cam here for Justin Rose. Looks like he's aimed this kind of on the right edge of the hole. That's a beautiful, beautiful putt right in the center for Justin Rose. That's now 3 birdies since he dropped down to 12 under. And Rose is pushed on Sundays, man. He is not an every week player, but when he is up there, he's just as good as anyone. I think he is making a big statement to Luke Donald right now. Look at the other names that are up there. Fleetwood, surefire Ryder Cup. Scheffler, best player on the planet. JJ Spaun, surefire Ryder Cup major champion. And there's Justin Rose. Rose 3 in a row. We got JJ Spaun putting on 17 for birdie, and we've got Tommy putting for par on 16. These are 2 massive putts. 2 absolutely massive putts, and I appreciate them showing them at the same time and not doing this from a moment ago, because I would strangle someone if they did this from a moment ago. Okay. Tommy Fleetwood, huge putt for par on 16. Spaun, birdie putt on 17. Tommy just barely crawls in on 16, and JJ Spaun gets it to go on 17. JJ Spaun not going absolutely anywhere. Tommy Fleetwood makes another big putt, but JJ Spaun finds a way to birdie 17. And we are all tied at 16 under with just 2 holes to play for the final group of Fleetwood and Rose and 1 hole to play for Spaun and Scheffler. Scottie is pretty much out of it now unless something crazy happens. We are getting a fantastic finish in Memphis. Leaderboard update. JJ Spaun, Tommy Fleetwood, 16 under par. Justin Rose, 15 under par. Scottie Scheffler, 14 under par. This is our reward. This is our reward. Everyone pat themselves on the back. Everyone subscribe to the channel. Everyone drop a like. This is our reward for getting through the great stream debacle of early August 2025. If you can't handle me at my Cameron Young winning by 8, you don't deserve me at my JJ Spaun and Tommy tied for the lead with Justin Rose 1 back and Scheffler 2 back down the stretch. Okay? If you're only here, I actually love you very much, and I'm not going to tell you that you should be here every week because I'm not here to control your decisions. But if you were here for the great stream debacle of early August 2025, pat yourself on the back because you've made it to. This is what the stream is all about. This is a fantastic one. What a battle of likable guys, says Ben Boscovich. Jackson Gibbon, if Scottie had Teddy, wins easy today. There's a take. Subbed, says Grant Junkie. Thank you very much. Rose longevity is crazy good. Yeah, man. The fact that he only has 1 major championship feels pretty cruel. I always group him with Sergio and Adam Scott, and I posed that question to Alan Shipnut because he's been around doing this longer, and he says Rose is number 1 of those 3. Here is Justin Rose. He's going with the driver. Scottie went with the 3-wood on this hole. He likes to hit it right to left. It should shape his eye, and we are going to get a cool tracer here with the picture-in-picture from Justin Rose on 17. They love it. He's flushing it. He's in that Augusta mode, man. He's in that Augusta mode. Perfect tee shot from Justin Rose. He's just 1 back. Is it officially a 3-horse race? It kind of feels like a 3-horse race. I think once Spaun hits a tee shot on 18 down the middle, that sort of puts Scheffler out of it. Here is JJ Spaun on the tee on the final hole, looking for his 2nd win of the season, backing up that U.S. Open championship with a I don't know if this is a signature event, but it's a playoff event. So that's a different category. You'd have one normal event, 1 playoff event, and 1 major championship. Just thinking about how pleasant a foursome would be with Rosie, Tommy, and JJ. Pleasant's 1 word for it, Ben. Scary would be another. Safety hazard would be a 3rd. All right, here's JJ. He's got less than driver. It looks like it's missing to the right. It goes in the first cut. Nothing scary there. Remember, we saw Will Zalatoris was hitting it in that bunker over and over and over when we rewatched the 2022 version. Spaun is safely short of them. That's probably why he hit the club that he hit. Feels crazy that Xander's been out of contention every week after last year's season and yet still finished 3rd in the cumulative major leaderboard, which is wild. Tommy, he's looking after that one in a way he didn't really look after any of the other ones. I'm wondering if this one's going right. It catches the right side of the fairway, does Tommy Fleetwood. Okay. Fleetwood is safely in the fairway on 17. Here is Scheffler on 18. I think he's pretty much out of it, given JJ. No, he's not out of it. That's got to turn over more, though. That is turning more. That's going to be in the fairway. So he needs a bogey from JJ Spaun to have any chance. What a tournament. What a great tournament. Spaun only major winner who can land a kickflip. Are we saying that definitively? I feel like if I gave Dustin Johnson a skateboard for like 4 hours, he'd figure out how to kickflip. That guy's one hell of an athlete. If you can't stand me at the blimp cam, you don't deserve me at the worm cam. That could be a shirt right there. I can't believe the blimp. Big Blimp must have some collateral on someone in the drone industry, because I just don't really understand how we still have blimps. Right? Why we don't need to put a human up there. A bit of an eyesore. I mean, I guess it's iconic with a Goodyear blimp and stuff, but we've got drones for that now. It's astounding to me that the blimp is still up in our skies. Still up in our skies. Seeing Ask Rory. Ooh. Ask Rory. That's a cool one. Oh, Kerry Williams gets to do that with Rory McIlroy? Hit me up, Golf Pass. We want to. Anyways, only like 12 blimps in the world, right? Yeah, they move around. They definitely move. They're not practical. The most famous one, we don't need to talk about World War I or World War II history. That was last week's stream with the Lusitania. But the Hindenburg disaster, do we know anything about that? Right? Probably the most famous blimp ever went down. I'm not a blimp guy. I'm not a helicopter guy. Just send an unmanned drone up there. You know? If one of those things goes down, it's like, damn, a company has to pay, $20,000. Just less downside. Drones are not super loud when they're that high. Don't do this to me, Tommy, says Liam Cathill. I'm not ready to be heard again. Big support from Ireland, Dano. Liam, I am enamored with your country. I am obsessed with the Irish amateur golf scene. I think I'm going to go to Ireland maybe every summer. I'm in some talks with people to do another trip next summer. That maybe some of you guys would want to come on. Would that be interesting for you guys if we did like a little, I led a trip to Ireland or something, and then we could all play some golf together and hang out and learn Ireland. It's the idea has been floated to me. We'll see if we can make it work scheduling wise. Zach Waller says, "Come on, Tommy." Jake Maher says, "Tommy to choke." That's mean. I'm not going to suspend you, but that is mean. Big Blimp says, Stephen Osborne. Fleetwood and Rose showing good form for the Ryder Cup. Any changes to your last few picks for the USA? You're going to have to stay tuned. We're doing that on tomorrow's show. I'm going to pick my 12. We're having Luke Curtinine back on to pick his 12. It's starting to solidify. There's not many spots that are moving. The only one is maybe Cameron Young. I'd slide him in for Goddard. I don't think you put both those guys on the team right now. I think they kind of fit a similar mold. I'd go for Cameron Young over Chris Goddard. I'll go if I can play from the white tees. My family is Irish. I always wanted to go, says Jackson Gibbon. The Hindenburg wasn't a blimp, my guy. Okay, well, we're not a history channel. Is the Hindenburg not a blimp? Airship. I mean, it looks like a blimp. That's not a blimp? What is it then? It's a big balloon in the sky. Ireland golf followed by preseason Premier League. The problem is that's the big problem, is that when I go to the UK every summer, they're not playing soccer at the time. They're usually in the U.S., actually. When I was over there for the Open, they do their summer series thing over here in the U.S., so we'll figure it out. I'd be down for an Ireland trip, says Ryan Bearden. Stay tuned for that. FMK blimp drone helicopter. I am marrying the drone. I'll have a one-nighter with the helicopter. I think it would be a really electric experience, and I'd be freaking out the whole time, which maybe would add to it. Don't think I could do I don't think I could do a lifetime with a blimp, and I'm marrying the drone. I'm doing the one night beauty. One night of heaven with the helicopter, and get the blimp all the way out of my sight. Scotland or Ireland for golf? It's so tough. I mean, Scotland's the home of golf. The history, the Irish people though are so incredible. It depends. I mean, last time I went to Scotland, I went to the Highlands, which was like almost a separate country from where the golf is. So yeah, you can't go wrong with either place. Big balloon in the sky equals my Irish golf nickname. When is Ryder team finalized after the Tour Championship? Morikawa's putting has me concerned for the Ryder Cup. He's still going to play. Bit off topic, but what's your thoughts on United versus Arsenal, Dan? I was way more excited until I saw us against Fiorentina, but we didn't play. Hoyland, Shesko wasn't in. Okay, JJ Spaun second into 18. It's right of the flag. It's right of the flag. It's shorter than the putt that he made at Oakmont. It's probably 30 feet, 33 feet instead of the 64 feet that he made. But Spaun will have that to post 17 under. Here is Tommy Fleetwood from 197. Maybe a touch of an issue with that tree. It looked like a one-arm finish. He was going to have to cut it around the tree, and he does not feel very comfortable cutting it. That stays out of the bunker, which I think is probably a help, but it might be a bit of a funky stance. But you could tell he was not comfortable with that shot. One-arm finish, stuck it in the ground. When you are draw bias, then you got a tree right in your way. It's not a comfortable shot for him. Here's Scottie Scheffler on 18. Would be very Scottie Scheffler to hit this to 2 feet, wouldn't it? Would be very, very Scottie Scheffler to hit this 2 feet. Almost looked like he was trying to hit a draw, which he doesn't do very often. Makes sense with where this flag is, and he's done it perfectly. I said 2 feet. It's probably more like 6 or 7, but a fantastic shot into the last from Scheffler. Probably still going to come up short, but another good week for Scottie. Here is Justin Rose on 17. 17 yards closer on the 17th than Tommy Fleetwood. This one's on a good line. This one's on a very good line at that right side of the green. Oh, dart from Justin Rose. He gets it to the proper tier, a little bit left of the flag, but that's probably about 15 feet for birdie for Justin Rose. Whereas Tommy Fleetwood's going to be chipping again. Tommy is going full Led Zeppelin. I know he's going to make the team, but I see his putting as a massive liability. Talking about Colin Morikawa. Ben Boscovich said, hold handle, stuck it in the ground, ass shot, Tommy. Yeah, he needed to hold handle, but not stick it in the ground, as Tiger would say. Just a hold handle, rotate, buttercut kisser is what he needed. Instead, he hit a hold handle, chop, overspin, topspin. That's what Tiger would say. That's what Tiger would say. Not great. Best mainland European country for golf. I'd say Germany is number one. I've never played golf in the mainland. Never. I've played in England, Scotland, Ireland, Northern Ireland. I have never played golf in Spain or Italy or Denmark or Germany or, any of them. France. Never played any of them. JJ Shade's on. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Ben's so excited. Ben wishes he was on the stream so bad. Drop a like if you're having way more fun without Ben on the stream. Just kidding. You don't have to drop a like for that. You should drop a like, but it doesn't have to be for that. Tiger said, Try to hit a hold handle little kisser up there, but I stuck it in the ground a bit and it just kind of tumbled. Came out a bit hot. That was my Tiger. I did my Tiger for someone this weekend, and they were like blown away by how good it was. So I spent 3 years around the guy every single second. I would hope that I can do a Tiger Woods impression. Wealth management centered around you. Megacorp. Please be Megacorp. Give me a Megacorp ad. Come on. We've got a nice ring, a diamond ring. We've got a baby walking on. We've got someone making a paper mache mask. We have someone in a boardroom, someone at their desk. Give me Megacorp. Put a face beyond Megacorp. Oh, now we're in the Italian coast. We're in a private jet. Corient? What the heck is Corient? I need a Megacorp CEO interview. I need to see the person who works for Megacorp, because in my head it's the villain from The Incredibles. Tommy is trying his hardest not to win, says Knockdown Driver. Very good. Very, very good. Any tips on how to get from a 3 to scratch? Been stuck at 3 last 2 years. I mean, I'd need to see your breakdown. I'd get one of like the Arco systems and understand your game better. Understand where you're actually losing ground compared to the handicap that you want to be. I've gotten that sort of information from Arcos. I've been a scratch forever. I want to be a +3. What do I need to do to improve to be a +3? I know now, and I need to putt it better, and I need to drive it better, and that's what I work on. Best soccer league after EPL, number 2, La Liga, number 3, Bundesliga, number 4, Serie A, number 5, League 1. I think I could probably get behind that. Serie A and Bundesliga, I feel like, are pretty damn close. You should come to the west coast of Scotland to play golf, where Bob McIntyre plays. Oban, yeah, I've heard it's beautiful. We were up on the west coast, but all the way up in the Highlands, up by like Skye. That's where we went. Didn't play golf that trip. We were just being in the mountains. It was remarkable. If you're coming to Ireland, you should come in mid to late August to allow yourself to go to a Premier League game the weekend after Ireland. Yeah, but the problem is I'm here for the playoffs. I'm doing stuff like this. So I'm going to, realistically, when I go to the UK, it's going to be when I have to go to the UK for work, which is going to be in the middle of July when there's no soccer. So it's just I'll probably have to go in the fall. Go in the fall when I'll be a little bit less busy and the season is going. Manchester United, Lucas Stigman. Hated, adored, never ignored. Glory, glory. The famous Man United. Do I need to blow my nose? I don't think so. How are you feeling about the Ryder Cup? I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. I think it's going to be a spectacle. I think it's going to be huge for our sport. Tommy's third into 17 is not as close as you'd like it to be. He's put a lot of pressure on the putter. He's made like 4 or 5 good putts in a row. He's going to need to make a good par putt to avoid dropping one back of JJ Spaun, who's trying to post 17. JJ Spaun, it's tracking. Can he do it again? Can he do it again? No, it just misses on the low side. So JJ Spaun is going to tap that in to finish at 16 under. That is goodbye to Scottie Scheffler. Scottie Scheffler does not, breaking news, Scottie Scheffler does not win a golf tournament this week. Came pretty damn close. Who's going to win in my opinion, bro? I think that Spaun is going to win. I think that being in the clubhouse, being done, I mean, it's just that, do we trust Tommy to make that putt and then make a par on 18 or miss that putt and then he has to birdie 18? It's so hard to win. It's so hard to win. Tommy had a 2-shot lead at one point, but he failed to birdie the par 5, and then the other guy, Spaun, birdied the par 5 and the par 4 after it. Rose has got, I believe, 3 in a row birdies, and he's got a good look here. Arsenal is the only right team. No, they're not. You guys, all this talk, all of this, preseason, no, we're going to change the stadium, we're going to make it louder just to not win a trophy again. Palace has 2 trophies. Chelsea are going to be a problem this year a little bit. I hope you guys spend $40 million on Garnacho, though. That would be fantastic, because then we'd get Belieber right away. Anyone want to golf next weekend near ATL? This is what I like to see. I like to see the chat hanging out with the chat. We're all golf sickos in here. Australia trip when? We're going to, I think the first dog trip we're going to do, I think, has got to be Ireland. It just kind of has to be, right? Or Scotland. Australia would be sweet, but just so far away. But so is everything else from the West Coast. Okay. Justin Rose. How do you think Spaun will perform in the Ryder Cup? I think he'll be a gamer. I think the crowd's going to love him. He's like an everyman. Justin Rose putting for birdie on 17. It's tracking. He gets it to fall, Justin Rose, to 16 under par. Do not count this man out. What a flurry. He bogeys 12, pars 13, goes birdie 14, birdie 15, birdie 16, birdie 17. Now Tommy Fleetwood has a putt to not be one behind Spaun and Rose going to 18. What about that putt from Justin Rose? The old man showing he's still got it in the tank. Oh, wow. Favorite sport besides golf is soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. But I'm in awe of Justin when it's almost like he was foreshadowing with what he said of like, on my week I can still do it. Scheffler for birdie on 18. It goes, so he finishes at 15 under, 67, 66, 65, 67. Didn't win the tournament, but he's going to be 1 shot out of it. It looks like maybe 2 shots out of it at most. Looks like a pretty good crowd there despite the heat. It's been a super fun watch along with you guys. I'm really enjoying this. Send it to your friends, hit a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Yep. Alex Bush just said, throwback Thursday to when Finno said you were on crack. You guys will remember that. All right, let's see if Tommy, Finno's boss, can make this par putt on 17. We need this to go in. And he's out of it so fast. Guys, Tommy's got a 2-shot lead. In the middle of the fairway on the par 5 16th. He blocks one. He then chips one off the green. He then putts it to 6 feet, makes it for par. Hits in the middle of the fairway on 17. Had to hit a little bit of a cut. Hit a hold handle chopper top spinner, as Tiger would say. And then the par putt was never up, never in. Tommy needs a birdie on 18 now. The heartbreak kid. He was what was he minus? He was minus 333 at one point we saw. I would guess he's probably about plus 400 now. Can only imagine what's going through his head. Yeah, he made a mess on 16 and bogeyed 17. And I just got a text that said Meekwood. Meekwood. Tommy Meekwood. And I can't even take issue with that right now. Oh man, from the middle of the fairway on both holes, playing those in 1 over. We had talked about that he wasn't going to bottle it. He was going to get beat. If this is a playoff at 16, he bottled it. He didn't get beat. From the middle of the fairway on 16. And then the middle of the fairway on 17. You know, it's not like someone birdied the last 3 holes, and if someone posts 17, he'll feel a little bit better. But if this is a playoff at 16 under, which is probably the most likely outcome at this point, that's a bit of a bottle. I have to say it. I have to say it. I don't want to say it, but I have plus 650. This is the most Everton thing ever. It breaks my blue heart, says Justin Holland. Oh boy, Tommy, says Tim Newbolt. Is Tommy the British Greg Norman? Tommy in the same boat as JT with how much hope he gives us for 3 rounds. That's not true. JT's won 15 times. Oh, 14 times. 18 is so hard to birdie, though. I hope Rose plays it safe. If Rose birdies, it's over. We got a genius in the chat, guys. JH. We have a genius in the chat. Everyone drop a like and say, JH, you are the smartest person that I've ever met. If Rose makes a birdie, it's over. Fact check true on that one. Would you play it safe as Rose or go and try to birdie to win it more with risk? It just depends on the tee shot. There's water down the left side. He's got the driver, though. We saw the other guys hit 3-wood. Rose has got the driver, so that would seem to suggest a little bit more of an aggressive play. I'm nervous every week. Starts at left. It's cutting. I think that's a really good line from Justin Rose. Yeah, what a gutsy tee shot. Took it over the bunker, really. A little bit of a helicopter finish there, and Rose couldn't place one better. Now it's a birdie hole. Absolutely, it's a birdie hole for Justin Rose now. Let's see how far that tee shot went. All right, here's Tommy. He got the 3-wood, yeah, because he likes to turn it right to left. It should fit his eye, but that was a big time drive by Justin Rose right there. He has played inspired golf these last 5 holes. Tommy needs to find the fairway here for any chance. It's going to miss the fairway to the right. Well right, in a bunker. He's not dead. He can still hit a high out of the bunker, but you can see just my voice. I'm slowing down with the way I talk because it's another one. It just feels like another one. It feels like another one, doesn't it? It feels like another one. Now, granted, he was 2 up. He was at 16 under. The other guys were at 14. JJ Spaun made 2 birdies in a row. Justin Rose made 4 birdies in a row. But Tommy playing with the drives he hit on 16 and 17 to play those holes in 1 over. It's the margins are so incredibly small. You know, that's what it's going to come down to. That's what it's going to come down to. Fleetwood better get his act together for Ryder Cup. He'll be fine. I imagine he'll make every single putt in the Ryder Cup. It's a different mindset. It really is. He doesn't have the I've never won a Ryder Cup before because he's been an absolute menace in the Ryder Cups before. You know, I think it'll be totally different. We got another commercial here, which I don't love. Lights are too bright for him, says Theodore Bates. Maybe the sun is too hot. He does live in Dubai, though. It's pretty hot over there. Damn, Rosie's giving me hope. My best golf is coming in my 40s, Jerry Winkler. I completely agree. I'm playing the best golf of my life, and I'm 30. And it's not like I'm playing any more than I used to. Everyone's game matures at a different time. I mean, Jake Knapp didn't make it on the PGA Tour until he was 30. Not saying I'm going to make it on the PGA Tour, but I might be able to make it on, start playing amateur events and stuff. I really do feel like I'm making a breakthrough in my golf. Like my swing is getting much better, technically speaking. I'm not going like this in the backswing. I'm starting to load up more on my right side and then turn through. I've picked up a lot of short game stuff, especially from these teachers. Speaking of which, we're going to do a short game chef. Parker McLaughlin's going to help us break down some of those chips. I can do it, man. I think I can do it. Can you tell us how you and Fitz met at Northwestern? Yes, I can. I was trying to walk on to the golf team, sent the coach all my stuff. He was not being very nice. He's like, oh, we signed this kid Fitzpatrick. He's the best player. We signed this kid Fitzpatrick. I start to look him up. This is the summer before our senior year. Not before our junior year, before our senior year. And he wins the British Boys. And then he qualifies for the Open, not from winning the British Boys. He just went to a qualifier and got through. Then he was low am in the Open. Then he fucking wins the USAM 2 weeks before school. And so I'm looking like, this is the guy who's taking my spot on the team. But I was also, he's the reigning U.S. amateur champion. And I saw him, and he claims that he doesn't remember the eating alone part. I saw him eating alone in the dining hall first week of school. I knew exactly who he was. I walked right up to him and said, I know who you are. And then we started talking about golf and been friends ever since. I am not there. Chase, 2 years is coming quick, though. Rose Bowl is laying so perfect, too. I got a feeling. Evanston, Illinois, nice town. Very, very nice town, except in the winter. If Tommy eagles the 18th, he wins. Zach Henderson said, you heard it here first. You heard it here first. If he eagles 18 and no one else does, you got a winner of the tournament. Tommy to win at East Lake, heard it here first. Okay, Noah Slan, was I ranked? Not high enough. I want to cry. I was in the last day on the last few holes for Tommy. I actually am going to cry this time. You can cry. You can cry. Internet Invitational, wasn't invited. Fitzy seems like a cool dude. He's playing good golf. What did he finish this week? Fitzpatrick, T32. I think he's going to make the team too. I think he's been solid enough the last couple weeks to make it. Rose is a damn shark, man. He smells the blood in the water. Yeah, he's a guy who, when he gets a sniff, I think he relishes the moment. I think he knows that you're not going to get these every single week. So, when I have a chance, when there is a high leverage situation, can I make the absolute most of it? And he's put his ball could not be in a better position. He took on a very, very risky tee shot there, actually covered the corner, so he doesn't really have to hit it much over the water. He can hit his little baby draw that he likes to hit. Here's Tommy Fleetwood. Can Tommy Fleetwood completely shift the narrative here? Sargent Dining Hall at Northwestern, says MJ Kenny. Or I said that. Sargent is the answer, across from Bob McCulloch, where we both lived. Okay, let's see it, Scottie. And by Scottie, I mean Tommy. Let's see it, Tommy. He's asking for it to sit. Misses the green. You'd have to hold that out. It's not a horrible shot, but the tee shot was pretty poor. I mean, just look at the quality of shots that Justin Rose has hit down the stretch versus the one that Tommy Fleetwood has hit down the stretch. It's holeable. It's doable. It's not a horrible leave. It's disappointing given the context, given how he's played the last couple holes. All right. Justin Rose. Can Justin Rose close it out in style? I feel like he might. I feel like, DJ did it. You don't have to hold it, but it's a back left pin that I think will suit his eye very well. He's as locked in as you could possibly be. He is as locked in as you could possibly be, having birdied each of the last 4 holes. Can he do one better than he did at Augusta? Can he win it in regulation to avoid the playoff? All right, Rose is approaching his ball. Looks like just a wedge, doesn't it? Okay, J. Rose. Can he put the Masters? Can he put Troon behind him and get back in the winner's circle with one final great shot? It looks like he's bailed out to the right a little bit. He has, but that's going to spin. It does spin. That's a good look. That is a good look for Justin Rose. He said it's okay to his caddy. I think it's better than okay. It's about 12 feet to win the tournament for Justin Rose. We could get a moment here, guys. Could he birdie the last 5 to win by 1? Can he birdie the last 5 to win by 1? Sorry, I'm just writing up a tweet here, but this would be just an absolutely incredible, incredible finish. This would be birdie the last 5. I've got the tweet ready to go. I've got the tweet ready to go. I've got the tweet ready to go. Okay, sorry guys, you just saw how the sausage got made a little bit. I am completely locked in. We're going to get the Tourcast off the screen because we know exactly what's happening, and I don't want to split everything. And now you can see the beautiful trophy behind my back, homie of the year. Where is everyone watching since ESPN Plus is lame? It's on NBC. Dan Lucas Lever at 12:34 is the bubble boy for Eastlake, but there's a whole nother tournament to play. Good payday, $3.6 million. Most players would take Greg Norman's career, 20 PGA Tour wins, 14 European Tour wins, 2 majors in 331 weeks as world number one. What's my word per minute? I've always been a good typer. I'm not sure. How did Tommy ever sign with TaylorMade? Scottie's with TaylorMade. Rory's with TaylorMade. They've done decent. Tommy played too safe all day. He played scared. He made some putts that kind of bailed him out, but certainly the last 4 holes he has not played very well. I feel a playoff says Vegas Gunner 88. Tommy has to hold his shot to stay in. That's correct. Peacock, I imagine the pressure is on Rose. I think Tommy's feeling it more. Steve, because he's one of the best, not many have his stats, even with no wins. He places better than most pros. I think you're thinking about Tommy Fleetwood. Can JJ win? Yes, JJ is tied. Justin Rose has a putt to win the tournament. If Justin Rose misses the putt, JJ Spaun will be in a playoff. The worst that JJ Spaun can do is a playoff at this point. But Tommy Fleetwood would have to hold this to get into the playoff. It is a fairway lie, playing back down a little bit of a hill. It's doable. It's certainly doable. Is that going to break enough? It's not. Tommy Fleetwood, that chip never really had a chance. And Tommy Fleetwood's day, it is not. A 2-shot lead after he birdied 15 to get to the par 5 16th. He hits it in the middle of the fairway on 16. Fails to make birdie on 16, hits in the middle of the fairway on 17, bogey 17. Plays those holes in 1 over. Meanwhile, JJ Spaun played those holes, so did Justin Rose, in 2 under. And that's the difference. Tommy has been eliminated, chat. Tommy has been eliminated. Who would win in a playoff, Jeremy Todd? I don't know. Flip a coin. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh man, everybody, nobody spoil anything, by the way. If you're I'm not looking at the chat. I'm not looking at any of this. The chat lies. If you post what happened before here, you got to get your life, you got to sort some things out. You got some personal issues that are way deeper than Dan Rappaport. I'll tell you that much. All right, Justin Rose is lining up his putt, trying to win his first PGA Tour event since when he won in 2023 at the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. After a heartbreak at the Masters earlier this year, can the 45-year-old do it? Justin Rose for the win in Memphis. Oh. Just slides by low on the right side, and it looks like it's a playoff between Justin Rose and JJ Spaun. Free golf. Free golf. All right, it's playoff time. Get ready. Should I take a break? Free golf? What are they going to say now? What are they going to say now? Yeah, we relived that earlier this week. Justin Rose and Spaun will go to a playoff, says Zach Henderson. We got brilliant people in the chat. JJ in another playoff. Oh boy, here we go again. Tommy needs a sports psychologist. I'm interested to see what he says after the round. A playoff with 2 people who lost to Rory in a playoff, and Rory is not even here. Makes you think. Josh Schellenberger, that is exactly right. That is exactly right. This is the Rory McIlroy absence open. Tommy makes it, by the way. Tommy makes it. Tommy finishes at 15 under, 69 in the final round in a tie for third with Mr. Scottie Scheffler. 1 behind. Not going to be for Tommy this week. And I have even better news for everybody. Rory McIlroy still projected to only fall one spot, but it's to JJ Spaun and not Tommy Fleetwood. I thought Rory was going to stay at number 2 despite not playing. All right, we can get rid of this too because we know this is the final. This is the 50. JT Poston, last guy in. Chris Kirk, first guy out. Aldrich Potgieter, Aaron Ride, Jordan Spieth, Jake Knapp, Wyndham Clark, Min Woolley. Big names just out. All right, we're going to get rid of this. We're going to get rid of that. You guys are slowly starting to see more of this room. I kind of liked when it was busy. Should we bring the Tourcast back? Yeah, we should bring the Tourcast back. You commentate, then you react without describing what's happening. That's because you guys are watching it along with me. I'm not doing a radio broadcast, says JK. While we wait for the playoff, I got Sunday Ryder Cup tickets, so any recs on what to do to get the most of the experience. Get there as early as you can and leave as late as you can. It's going to be a day unlike any other. It's probably 18. I think they played, I'm thinking back to the playoff between Zalatoris and Sepp Straka. And that one, they played 18 twice, I believe. And then they played the par 3 where they both hit it in the water. And then Will, for like 7 minutes, decided that he was going to try to play a ball that was inside of a rock. Wait, I hear my puppies. I'm going to make sure my puppies are alive. I'll be right back. They're alive. I'm joking. Hey, guys. Hey, buddy. I know. I'm going to walk you as soon as this is done, big guy. As soon as it's over, buddy, as soon as it's over, we're going to go on the most fun walk you've ever been on. Poor guy. Poor guy. Did Fleetwood make playoffs? He didn't make this playoff. He's moved on to the next round. It would be awesome if Rory was eliminated from the playoffs for skipping this weekend. Buddy, you want to come in? You can come in. You can come in. Hi, big guy. Hello. I know. I'm going to give you so much attention after this. I'm going to give you so much attention. You want to say hi? Come in. You want to come in? Can you come up? You still got the gas to come up? Okay, buddy, you want to say hi to the stream? Okay. There's big boy. Oh, there's the big boy. Say hi, buddy. Say, why did Tommy Fleetwood miss that putt? He don't like to be picked up very often. I know. I feel so bad right now. He's a half lab, half American bulldog, 100% beast. Buddy, what do you want? You want a treat? I'll give you a treat. Okay, I'll get you a treat. Let's get you a treat. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Sorry, guys. Sorry. And did my TV just shut off? My TV just shut off. What the heck is going on? The playoffs should start very, very soon. Is that a seal? No, it's my dog. Don't be mean to my dog. That's not very nice. He's a legend. Buddy's like 13 years old, 14 years old. He's doing great. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. Puppers deserve the best. Yeah, I gave them both treats. That'll shut them up for probably about 4 minutes, and then they'll be right back here. Usually when I'm doing this, Mrs. Rapp is giving them all the attention that they so richly deserve. But not right now. Not right now. Tommy already walked the dog earlier today. We are good here, man. Let the dog out. Does he show it or not? I can't show the golf. I can't show it the golf. How do you birdie the last 5, then miss that? It was like 18 feet. It wasn't a gimme by any stretch for Justin Rose. Better commercial than NBC. Yeah, I can just show my dogs during the commercial breaks. That would be good. Memphis, world's best barbecue city. I have officially amended. I said earlier that it was a no Memphis policy, and that was unfair to my friends in Memphis. It's a no Memphis in August policy. It's strict, though. It's strict. So I've never been to this tournament, and I'm not going to go. Rose should have ended it. JJ is a better player. I don't know about that. Maybe you could say right now, but I think historically Justin Rose definitely has the edge. Got to teach him how to put the ball back in the fairway and put the ball in the hole. Rose Ryder Cup spot locked. I completely agree. Daithi Metcalf, I think he's going to be, there's a lot of murmurs that he's going to be the captain the next time, 2027. He seems to be the next in line. I think this is a perfect sort of last hurrah for him. You know, he's played in the States his whole career. He's had incredible success on the PGA Tour. He played really well last year in the Ryder Cup, or 2 years ago in the Ryder Cup, kind of in that elder statesman role. And, you know, as we've seen on his week, he's good for a really, really high finish. It's all about, you know, he said this to me at the Open, you know, it's going to be hard for me every single week to reinvent myself and compete with a Scottie Scheffler every single week. But I feel like on my day, I can still do it. Sudden Death is right. Memphis is a 5.8 out of 10 city. Anyways, never been. Do we go back to the 18th hole? I do think that we go back to the 18th hole, at least to begin with. Bandon LaRue says, can someone Venmo me $7 so I can buy 2 tall boys tonight? Where do you get 2 tall boys for $7? Here in California, that might buy you $7. That might buy you a Bud Light, maybe, in a bar. Rose versus Keegan will be the decider on Sunday. Save the old guys for last. That would be very interesting. JJ Spaun, how about that putt he made on 17? They're showing all the highlights here. I forgot about that one a little bit. And Justin Rose made a similar length putt on 17. This one had quite a bit of break, quite a bit of speed. He kept the speed up beautifully. Why is there no live on ESPN? Because it's past the broadcast window is basically how it works. We got the... All right, so let's go to the tour cast here. Let's go to Rose. And Spaun, we're on 18. We're on 18. The playoff will start on 18. I can bring back the tourcast. Should we bring back the tourcast? Yeah, let's bring it back. There it is. There we go. That fits nicely there. Take one, sup. Hey, what's up with the dog swag, shirt, hat? Stay tuned. We're working on something. When is the tiebreaker? It's coming up. They have to sign their scorecards. They're in the carts on the way back. So they'll be back on the tee within the minute, and we will be back to live golf for the tiebreaker, aka the playoff. $7 for Bud Light is just un-American. I completely agree. I'm just telling you what the prices are, at least where I live. You go to Memphis for Beale Street, Bass Pro Shop headquarters, and Gibson Guitar Museum, not to hang out in the hood. Okay. Come on, Rory, says John. I hope you're being funny. Sickos buying sickos, cold ones in this chat is what we live for. Who do you think wins the playoff? I'll say Rose. I think Rose is going to birdie this hole. I think Justin Rose got a little bit of unfinished business. It's a toss-up. I'd be curious. You guys looking at the odds? Anyone got the odds? I would guess they're pretty close. Tommy keeps making me sad, says JM, you're not the only one. Rose, Spaun, and Scheffler signed for the wrong score. Fleetwood wins. Nope. Adam, should I give Adam a little timeout for that? Take one, sub was a reference to how Conor McGregor says sip. Oh. I'm gonna get a beer. I'm gonna get a beer for the playoff. What do you guys think about that? Should I get a beer for the playoff? I'm gonna get a beer for the playoff. There's nothing. You can do that, right? I'll just take the label off. I'm gonna have a beer. If I lose my job, it's okay. Oh, we got a little bit of a situation on our hands, guys. Basically, there was beer in the fridge when the dog sitter got here on Friday. Wow. 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 Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Whoa. That is crazy. He does such a good job with the puppies, too. It's a shame it's going to be his last time staying in my house. That's crazy. Do you guys not think that's crazy? Do you not think that's crazy? There were beers in the fridge when I left. I'm gonna have no further comment on the matter. Okay, JJ Spaun going first on the playoff. Something new. We had the dog. We had the beer gate of the beer debacle of mid August 2025. JJ Spawn's gonna miss the fairway. Looks like he wanted it to draw. Is it gonna catch a bunker in between? It's in between. Is it gonna stay in the short stuff or go in the long rough? It stays in the short stuff. Not a big problem there for JJ Spaun. He was hoping for it to turn over. It didn't. Does Justin Rose stick with his strategy with the big stick? He does. He does. Okay, the beer situation. I'm gonna need to get an official statement from. He's one of my friends. It's fine. I'm not actually upset. I do remember there being bid. I do remember there being I'm talking like a toddler again. I do remember there being beer in the fridge when I left. And one of my friends who's not really friends with the dog sitter, but has become friends with the dog sitter, sent me a picture from inside my house on Saturday. So I think there were some beers drunk at my house on Saturday, which is okay. But, I just have some additional thoughts. Okay, here is Justin Rose on 18. Is he hitting that same shot? This one's pretty far left. This one's pretty far left. Splat. No, it carried. Oh my gosh, it carried by 1 yard. I was waiting for the splash there, and I think Rose probably thought that was in the water too. Oh my goodness, no chance he was trying to hit it that far left. You guys remember when Sepp Straka had 1 foot in the water and then eventually ended up taking the drop? This thing, it cleared by legitimately 1 yard. I was waiting for the splash. But did it stop where he's going to have a stance? Yeah, I think he's okay. I think he's might not have to take that left shoe off. We don't need to see a 45-year-old man's bare foot on national television. Wow. Dry like Dan's fridge, says Miss Cornwell. Oh, I can't believe that. I actually can't believe that. I'm going to text him right now. Did we have... No, I can't. Now, if I text him now, it's super like passive aggressive. No, I didn't say he couldn't drink the beers. I don't mind him drinking the beers. Just don't drink all of them or leave like 2 beers. Or listen, if there were no beers in the fridge, that's on me. This is the problem with live content. You say certain things and then they get out of hand. Can someone tell me what Tommy's saying to change the subject, please? Take a little heat off me. What's he saying? Tommy has the speech memorized. These interviews with Tommy are brutal to watch. Watery eyes. Credit Tommy for talking to Damon Hack. Yeah, he doesn't have to do it. He does look like he has red eyes. This is Tom, the dog watcher. Sorry we drank all your beers and sniffed. You're getting a timeout for that. Timeout. I tried me hardest. I'm concerned about those dogs I'm concerned about the care those dogs received during his bender. That's right. How many beers did you drink and did the dogs eat twice a day, like as stipulated? It's funny. Oh, I'm getting some text. Tommy, what a choke is another one of the group chat. Would you guys think that was a choke? Do you guys think that was a choke? I wouldn't give it a capital C choke. I would give it the lowercase c chop. They're different, right? Saying that a guy like chopped it coming in is like he played bad golf. I wouldn't say that he choked, right? It wasn't like he hit one shot that was, I guess, the third shot on the par 5, but he got up and down. So he avoided crisis. Can we rule out the dogs didn't drink all your beer? Yes, the beers are safe. The beers are kept in a safe fridge. Dog may be drunk. Dog day afternoon. No, Justin just came with the heat. It was a gag. You guys are saying gag. You're saying choke. I say chop. I think it was a chop going in. So we got Justin Rose. Very curious about what is he going to do here. Is he going to take that left foot out of its shoe? Are we going to see a 45-year-old barefoot, or is he going to? Does he have enough room? This is an advantage for JJ, I think, to be playing first, because he's got a pretty good look at a back left pin from that right side. It's really not a bad spot. I mean, obviously you wouldn't hit it down the right side on purpose because of those bunkers and the long rough, but he avoided the bunkers and the long rough. He can get to the back of this. He can spin it. I'd give JJ the advantage here, just because there's no indecision in his head about what to do. You know, Justin Rose is going to be probably deciding between a few things. Can I get my foot here? Do I have to aim right? Do I have to play this draw? It's on a big upslope. JJ's on an upslope too, but this is absolutely doable to a back left pin for JJ Spaun. Way up in the air. I mean, way up in the air. So much so that the cameraman had to zoom out. That's going right, though. Catches the right side of the green and does roll a little bit closer to the hole, so that'll be about 40 feet for JJ Spaun. Pretty similar to where he putt from in regulation, and we know this guy likes a long putt. But JR has 50 yards less. He's got water in his mouth right now. I don't know if he's doing a Ryo Hisatsune leveling finding practice. I think he's all right. Oh, it's close. How funny would it be if he was testing it and he just falls in on the rehearsal? No, I think it's close. I think he's just got to keep his weight on his toes and be a little bit of an athlete here, but only 121 yards. But it does, if he hits this close, it's probably on accident, because I think he's got to play right of the water, right? I mean, it's so hard to judge carry distance in a playoff because you're so juiced up, especially when you have a weird lie like that. Similar putt to what he had last time. We're going to have a Woody Austin. Spaun has that 50-plus foot putt in his locker. Does that rough behind mess with his head a little bit? I think Rose is okay here. I think he's totally fine here. Yeah, I think he was just testing it, and I think he maybe the ball being above his feet will help him draw it a little bit, help it get it to that left pin. If he can get some draw spin on this, it should get better and closer to the flag. So there is maybe a silver lining here with that ball being way above his feet, is he can kind of land this in the middle of the green, and if it comes in with a draw like it should, and he doesn't have to do anything crazy, it should get better. This is where those tap jazz classes he does pays off. Hits ball, holds it, falls in the water. That would be sick. Real question is, can he do his dip rehearsal? Yeah, I don't know if he's going to do the full rehearsal here. I think this is just athlete mode. Only 101 yards according to the broadcast. Gets away from the water. You would think that he put it out right. He did. Does it have draw spin? It does. Advantage Justin Rose. Great shot again, and an extremely similar putt for Justin Rose in regulation. So both men missed the fairway just barely. Rose gets rewarded for chewing all of that off the dog leg. Kind of almost went in the water. He had to do a little emergency calf raise there to stay out of it. But he did a really good job, and exactly what we were talking about, bringing it in with a little bit of draw spin just because of the way that the ball was sitting, and he have seen that putt almost exactly the same as it was in regulation, perfectly pin high. You would think he's happy. Let's see a reaction. No reaction. Usually you get a reaction from Justin Rose. I was surprised to see this the whole time. Very, very similar putts here. Very, very similar putts here. It's a very similar putt for JJ Spaun that he had in regulation, and it's a very, very similar putt for Justin Rose that he had in regulation. And when you get greens this good and guys who get the same putt that they had less than an hour ago, I think one of these is going to go in. I do think one of these is going to go in. Scenes if this drops for JJ, says Samuel Doyle. AC Treewater, man, my Tourcast is ahead of TV coverage. Mine too. Ice cold like the beer stolen from Dan. I'm going to get a beer eventually. Thankfully, I live in a city where that's possible. I'm going to get a beer, and it's going to taste delicious. I might even do a Guinness. Might even go down to O'Brien's and get a Guinness. The same shot as regulation. 2 balls are on the green. That is correct. We've got JJ Spaun from what, 40 feet and Justin Rose from about 20. I'm afraid to look at. He has 36 and Justin Rose has only 13. Okay, so that was the last look I'm going to do at Tourcast because we know where the guys are. Dan, this would be so much better with a beer. You guys, this is what it's all about. I love it. I have cans in there. I could take a can. If this goes to a second playoff, maybe I'll break into one of those. I'm not going to, no, Guinness will not be at the house, Jackson. There's a place, O'Brien's Irish Bar down the street. They have the best Guinness in West LA. Go England. All right, we got a Brit in the house. Who's your team? Season starts next week. How about Crystal Palace taking down Liverpool to win the Community Shield today? 12th again, who gives a fuck? We've won the FA Cup. Na-na-na-na-na. Waka waka, 12th again, who gives a fuck? We won the FA Cup. It's a phenomenal chant. Smith Rex over Guinness. Okay, fair enough. Actually, there are 6 balls on the green. We got a funny guy in there. Charge it to the green. Do drink the cans. Why not? I will. After this, I'll do it. Okay. JJ Spaun from 38 feet for birdie on 18. It was a similar line to the one that he had in regulation, and it hits the lip. Oh, was that close to going in? Oh, the lab social person. They had the post ready to go. They said, toss that damn putter, JJ. We got a photographer right there. We're going to do the same thing that we did at the US Open. That could not have been any closer to going in without going in. Just perfect speed. Just misses a little bit on the low side. You can see the caddy went straight from the fist pump into the head. He's going to finish out first and clear the way for Justin Rose. Are you still close to the foreplay, boys? I'm still close with Alex Bush, for sure. He's running this stream. He does all my content. I don't see them as much. I still text Riggs every now and then. Frankie and Trent and I weren't like really that close to before foreplay, so there's no bad blood or anything. But I would say I'm close to Alex. I still talk to Brendan Jones, but the other ones not as much. Okay, here it is. Justin Rose from 13 feet, an extremely similar putt to the one that he had in regulation, and he'll also have seen JJ Spaun's putt roll pretty much on the same line. He knows this breaks left at the hole. It's probably just outside right edge. And Justin Rose has a chance to put the Masters playoff heartbreak behind him and to return to the winning circle for the first time in more than 2 years, to really lock up his place in the Ryder Cup, to add another, what number win would this be for Justin Rose? To add a 12th win on the PGA Tour. Add another playoff victory to an already Hall of Fame legacy. Here's Justin Rose with the claw putter grip from 13 feet to win the tournament. I hit the lip also. I was about to go crazy. They both missed. They both hit the lip. Justin Rose, you could tell, did not want to miss that one on the low side. After watching Spaun's ball break across the hole, it was just a little too much speed. I actually went into my crouch as though he was going to win it. We're going to do this thing all over again. All right, just 2 feet for Justin Rose to extend the playoff. He ain't missing this, guys. He didn't miss it. Okay, back to 18, I believe, one more time. Both of those, and Rose was waiting for Spaun to make eye contact, being like, we couldn't have scared that hole anymore. I disagree. Soccer is the world's game. I don't have a lot of time or tolerance for the anti-soccer takes. I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion. It could be a wrong opinion. Make playoffs par threes. They will be a par 3. Yeah, Fleetwood is out. Fleetwood did not make the playoff. It's Justin Rose and JJ Spaun in the playoff. They both made pars on 18. Oh, it's 18. We're playing 18 until we're done playing 18. That's interesting because it was 18, 18, 17. Yeah, 18, 18, 17, or whatever the par 3 was. They went to a par 3 when it was Zalatoris against Sepp Straka, but I guess not this time. We're going back to 18. I guess all the people are there. It's a cool hole with the water. Feels like a pretty high leverage hole, and both guys just hit the lip there. Just 2 U.S. Open championships that won in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Just 2 U.S. Open champions that won in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. That's right. We got an Oakmont winner. We got a Marion winner, Everton fan, England fan, and Tommy fan. Keep me in your prayers tonight. Well, Samuel Doyle. All right, sounds like you guys might get Jack Grealish. I don't know how you feel about that. They'll recut the flag after 2 ties. Yeah, we saw that at the Canadian Open when it was Ryan Fox against Sam Burns. We saw just they kept making pars. They moved it, and finally someone made a birdie. So that was good. That was what we needed. We're going to another playoff hole. We needed the worm cam. Yeah, no worm cam means no made putts. I've lost sports feed, so now relying on you boys. I'm here for you, Matt Dibben. Dan, what's your take on Happy Gilmore 2? I finally finished it. It was entertaining. It was very entertaining. If you're like going to take the time to shit on that movie, you might have a little bit of a stick up your butt. Like, was it as good as the first initial? No. Has there ever been a comedy sequel that was as good as the initial? Maybe 22 Jump Street from my era is the only one I can think of, but Hangover 2, not nearly as good. Zoolander 2, like actively horrific. Neighbors 2, not very good. Anchorman 2, okay, not nearly as good as the original. I think with those, when you're running back an iconic comedy series, just the sheer fact that you're bringing it back is like 85% of the work, that you've done enough to get all these people on board and to bring Happy back and to bring Shooter McGavin back. And yeah, I thought they did a good job. I thought they did a good job building like an actual story. It wasn't just, Happy and Scooter, and there was some, and Shooter, and there was some, subtle, maybe not so subtle digs at Live Golf in there. I thought it was good. Oh, I'm gonna get a can. I'll be right back. I'll BRB. Buddy, by the way, my dog, just completely satisfied. Just completely satisfied after that treat. He came in here, he just dominated me from a mental perspective. Buddy came in here and he said, "Listen, it's been a long time. I need a treat." And I said, "Absolutely, my friend." And now he's got a treat and he's just sitting in the sun as happy as can be. Cheers. I don't know if we still say that, but Rose got the driver again. So he's trying to hit it over that water. Obviously not as far left as he did the second time. He's going to have to hit that cut. Let's see if we get that same finish. A little bit more over the shoulder this time, but he likes it. It's a stripe show from Justin Rose. I love that he keeps hitting driver on this hole. A very, very similar shot to the one he hit in regulation. So that is in the fairway. It is 12:30 Monday morning here in Barcelona from an Irish West Ham fan and first-time reader. Irish West Ham fan in Barcelona. I was going to say treat Marcus Rashford well, but I don't know that West Ham fans treat other players well. Not something you can really count on them for. Both great drives. Oh, I missed JJ Spawns. You guys, was it in the fairway? You get the 3-wood in the fairway? That's bad. That is bad that I missed the first one. Just missed it. That's no good. Dodgers and JJ, let's go. What can I watch it on? It's on NBC here in the US. I don't know around the world. Hola, Barcelona. Can you show the shot trails? Yes, I can. Should be on here. Let's see. Spawn. Why are they not showing up? Shouldn't it say playoff 1? No relation to Justin Timberlake. I appreciate it though. Thank you, Keith. Yeah, my last name's actually Timberlake. Can you imagine if my name was Danny Timberlake and I chose Rappaport as the world's worst pen name? Oh, his name's Dan Rappaport, but it's not his real name. Oh, what's his real name? Rappenstein? Rappenstenberger? No, it's actually Timberlake. Probably should have gone with Timberlake. Let's go LA. I agree. I have a Los Angeles thing here. I'm in LA. It's on Peacock as well. Okay, my nerves have calmed. Totally thought Rose was going to go water doing it a third time. Jace Aspinall is rooting for Justin Rose here, which we have room for everybody in this. We got some JJ Spaun fans. I do think there's more Justin Rose fans in here right now, it feels like. If you guys are Justin Rose fans, I want you to let that be known. If you're rooting for JJ Spaun, let us know you're rooting for JJ Spaun. I'm trying to find the shot trails for you guys here. I'm doing my absolute best. View shot details. They're on the second playoff hole. I don't think the website has any clue what's going on. You can see I'm trying to click. There's nothing. There's just absolutely nothing. We go back to Tourcast. Show us what happened in the playoff, my friend. In the playoff. Can you guys tell me where JJ Spawn's ball is? Rapashid is one of the best NFL insiders of all time. It's not a pen name though. It's my real name. Cheering for Justin Rose, JJ. Okay, so there's a little bit. Wales UK here. Just come on. Justin, come on, I assume you're saying. So some UK love from Wales. Cheering for Justin Rose. Rosie all the way. Rose, JJ. Feels pretty even. And I think they both have a pretty good chance on 18. We're in our second playoff hole. We are into 2 hours and 35 minutes of this electric stream. You guys are fantastic. And we're going to get to a finish here. Drinking this can. I'm in Egypt. It's 1:31 a.m. Egypt! Hello, Egypt. I just watched one of the worst movies I've seen in a really long time, and it was about Egypt. Well, that's a bit of a bastardization. It wasn't about Egypt. It was The Fountain of Youth. Did you guys watch that with John Krasinski and Natalie Portman? First of all, I'm a big don't want to go into the movie with a lot of expectations, guys, so I don't watch trailers. I see John Krasinski and Natalie Portman in the trailer. I'm thinking that they're gonna hook brother and sister. Okay. John Krasinski and Natalie Portman are the two stars of the movie. I need on that poster brother and sister. I need to know what I'm expecting here. Because I was expecting something that I didn't see. I'll put it that way. Let's be honest, guys. The host of this show could really be Ed Sheeran's Irish brother. Wow. Yeah, people did think I'm Irish because I got red hair, but I am not Irish. Random hornet flew in the living room just to add to the tension. I'm nervous. I think they just moved the cup. Yeah, after this, they would move the cup. Fleetwood needs ice in his veins. So he needs a transplant of cold organic matter into his veins. Okay. Hopefully it's cooling down for those boys over in Memphis. The shadows are starting to get longer. We got JJ Spaun. Okay. Oh, you've been asking for it. I'm putting you on timeout. And if you come back with the anti-soccer stuff, you're going to be blocked. Sorry, man. On a flight from NYC to Seattle, go Rose. All right. JJ has approached his ball on the 18th fairway, second playoff hole. He's playing first. Still that back left pin. Bring it back to the UK. Yes, bring the FedEx St. Jude Championship trophy back to the UK. They'll have a parade down the streets of London. JJ Spawn's hitting a high draw that is going toward the left side of the green. No, it's not. Bad angle from Danny. It's back to the right side of the green. And it's that same putt. It's that same putt that he keeps having a look at. So, again, I'd be surprised if that doesn't have a chance, but he looks very disappointed. I think he felt like that was going to turn over more than it did. In Korea, says Arvin Spawn. Let's go, JJ. Who wins, Trump or Elizabeth? I don't know what that is. Foot fairies. Okay. That's funny. Foot fairies is funny. But just being like soccer sucks, Europeans are, a word that I don't want to say. That's not going to cut it. Have 500 on a Rose plus 450. There it is. There's always someone who's going to get rich and not donating it to the cause. Hey, the guy who was on Rose, 5,500 on Rose plus. First of all, that's a big bet on plus 450. So you're going to win like 20 grand. If you do, you got to buy the guy $7 who wants to get a tall boy. That's friends help friends. That's what we're doing. What was your favorite course you played in Ireland? Waterville. They were all amazing, but Waterville has captured my heart. And I played the worst there. You want to talk about maturity? Liking the course the most that you played the worst? Okay. Rosie from the middle of the fairway. This is a green light special on a Tuesday afternoon. What about on a late Sunday, second playoff hole? He's eyeing it up and down. It's a dart from Justin Rose. There it is. Great shot from Justin Rose. About 7 feet, 6 feet short of the hole, and the advantage is Rosie's once again. It is a different putt than he has had the last 2 times he played this hole, but it is a much closer putt, and he didn't make those 2, it should be said. So maybe a little change of pace, not the worst thing for Justin Rose. They're showing replays of JJ Spaun of his 2 putts, one in regulation, one in the playoff hole. You're going to see just how similar these putts are. The first one missed by about 2 inches to the left. The second one missed by 1 inch to the left. And Rose also missed it on the high side in regulation. Spaun missed twice in a row on the low side, and Rose missed twice in a row on the high side. You're going to see the putt here on 18. Just how I can't believe this one didn't go in. Oh, just catches the left lip, doesn't drop. And then Justin Rose's catches the right lip. From Australia, these watch-alongs are great as you go to work on a Monday morning. Thank you, Stephen McCauley. We do them every week. Get in there, JT. I put 10 on both Spaun and JR after first holes today. Ha ha. Scottie needs Rosie to win. If Rosie wins, he would have a 2011-point win over Rory. So he wouldn't even need to play next week. He would not even need to play next week. Okay, we're going to get rid of the Tourcast because there's only 2 guys, and also the Tourcast isn't doing anything for us right now. Oh, I'm nervous. This should help. What's happening? They're both on, we're on the second playoff hole. JJ Spaun is about 35 feet. JJ Spaun is about 30 feet. Justin Rose has about 6 feet. Thank you, Javier Lopez. He subscribed. This is great content. I think this is great content, and you guys are a huge reason why. You guys drive this stream. I'm here doing my thing every Sunday. Sometimes it's dead. Sometimes it's super alive like it is today. And the only difference there is you guys. So if you're enjoying today, let's do this every week. We'll be back next week for the BMW. We'll be back the week after that for the Tour Championship. I don't have anybody in my life, it's shockingly, here in Los Angeles, that's as big of a golf sickos as you guys are. So this is my favorite thing to do, to watch final rounds. And I feel like all the final rounds from this year are so enmeshed in my head now. Yeah, they're both putting for birdie. All of these final rounds are so enmeshed in my head now because I see the social clips, because I live it with you guys. So my name is Dan, D-A-N, as in Dan on golf. Damn is a negative expression in our country. Okay, Spaun will putt first. I just think with this guy and his putting and his long putting and the lab putter, you can only dodge so many bullets if you're Justin Rose. You can only dodge so many bullets. Me scratching my head, that's nervous. That's me being nervous. Okay, Spaun. Similar putt, a little bit more shadows in play now. He knows it goes left at the hole. Has he done it this time? Yes, he has, JJ Spaun. You can't give him 3. You could give him 2 looks at the same putt from the middle of that 18th green. He was going to make the third one. He got closer after the first one. He got closer after the second one. The third one goes right in the middle. JJ Spaun, a killer with the lab putter in his hand. And now Justin Rose, his putt is now to stay alive. Talk about a Mongolian reversal. This could be a telltale example. You just knew that was going in, didn't you? You just knew that was going to go in. Oh, wow, JJ Spaun. What a finish. Guy, birdie 15, birdie 16. Just never blinked all day. Now can Justin Rose hang with him? Can we go to a third playoff hole? Oh, Rosie is going to be putting entirely in the shadow, so that should make it a little bit easier than if it was a mixed shadow, but I'm sure he wouldn't mind the sunshine right now. Justin Rose to stay alive. Is there USA chants going on? There's always USA chants in Memphis. It's Ryder Cup season. Oh my, wait, they're not being disrespectful. They're rooting for their guy. It's totally fine. Okay. Justin Rose to stay alive. Got it. Gamer. So they trade birdies on the second playoff hole, and we're going to do it all over again. We are going to do it all over again. They tied the first hole with birdies, with pars. They tie the first hole with pars. They tie the second hole with birdies, and let's do it again. Prelims to the Ryder Cup. This is a little bit of a Ryder Cup feel, isn't it? Oh, now do they have to mutually agree on the pin? How does this work? Looks like they're giving their opinions here. Yeah, 2 fist bumps there. JJ, I just felt like that was going to go in. I just felt like he's just getting too many looks. They got to move that hole far away. Yeah, move it to the right side of the green. Tourcast is working again. Okay, we'll bring it back. We will bring it back then. Monday morning finish, change of cup. Undoubtedly, like the people staying in Dan's house on Saturday did, they changed their cups. I'm gonna get an official statement. I'm gonna say the chat is asking what happened to the beers. He's gonna be so confused. Actually, no, he watches this stuff. We're gonna get the answer here. We're gonna get the official answer here about Beergate. We talked about the great watch-along debacle of early August 2025. What about the beer debacle of mid-August 2025? Why don't they move the hole? They are moving the hole. They are moving the hole. Sir, again, yes, again, another tiebreaker. They're recutting the hole right now. Oh, a marathon stream today with you guys. This is fantastic. New hole location is 22 right, 5 left. There it is. They cut that new hole pretty quickly. Yep, 22 on, 5 from the left. I would say a more accessible pin for sure, especially with a backstop there. I think they move it to the easiest pin on the hole because they want to get it done now. They want to get it done. TV people want to go home. There's daylight for probably another couple hours, but they want to get this thing over with. Tommy is the Minnesota Vikings of golf. Alex Bush said that he wanted to say something on the show about how Tommy Fleetwood is the Buffalo Bills of golf, which is, I feel like, a little bit more of an optimistic outlook. Dan, where'd you grow up? I grew up about 5 or 6 drivers from where I live now, west side of Los Angeles. I'm out of rum and out of wine. You're not the only guy, and you're out of beers too. I just got a text from my wife being like, what are you saying about Josh? She's like, he's so nice. He watches our dogs. I don't have enough beers for this to go longer. Maybe if you get Josh to send you some. He's got extra in his house. JD says, my question is, why are they playing the same hole over and over again? Because all the people are there. And because they can take the carts back and forth and back and forth. Most places do the 18th hole like twice in the playoff, and then afterwards they'll move to a different hole if they have to. But like if you're there and you've been waiting all day and it's super hot, and you're on the 18th green, and then they say, oh, we're actually going to the 10th hole and it's across the golf course, at least half the people are going home. Dan, are you for Rory giving the tour the finger this week? I don't think it's like as much giving the tour the finger. I think it's not actively doing something nice for the tour and doing something nice for himself. And I think he learned a really hard lesson about where his loyalty should lie. JJ Spawn's watching this a little bit nervously, but no reason to be. His 3-wood finds the left side of the fairway. A little too close for comfort, but he's fine. Why does JJ go first? Because he finished the round first. They never switch. Yeah, because by definition, they've tied on the holes. So JJ has the honor. Is just me or does Dan give a slightly English accent? I don't think so, but I do watch a lot of soccer content. I do watch a lot of Premier League, so I don't think so. I think I sound pretty American, but my handicap, funny that you ask, I'm back in the pluses now. Back in the pluses. Yeah, my last 2 sober rounds of golf, I've shot a combined 5 under. So I'm, oh, Buddy's back. Buddy, you want to come in? Buddy boy, you want to come in? Hey, do you want another treat? I know they're on the 3rd playoff hole. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy that they're on the 3rd playoff hole. Won't they just finish already so we can go for a walk? I completely agree. I know. You want to hang out? You can hang out in here if you want. Yeah, just hang out in here. Oh, Rose looks like it's going to miss the fairway. Now it's kind of balking like it might hit the fairway, and that one convinced That one confused the Tourcast because it is in the fairway, and Tourcast did not think it was going in the fairway. So 2 balls in the fairway on the 3rd playoff hole. The way I say Premier League is, I should say Premier League. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Premier League is sort of a, yeah, that's, yeah, you're right. I think that's because of listening to all the different like soccer podcasts and they all say Premier League. Rose has got this just as his team Chelsea won today. Rose is a posh guy, isn't he? Chelsea is like a bit of a posh fan base. I'm trying to learn the sort of intricacies of the different London clubs. Like I know Tottenham is historically the Jewish club, but also like very working class. But Chelsea, I think, is like a little bit more like that, right? What about Arsenal? They're just so big that they're everywhere. JJ going to stick it in and win with Bird. I don't know who Bird is. Rose is just crushing golf balls right now. Yeah, just Rose is flushing. And it's cool when you get one of these guys who are in their 40s who they've got a feel. It reminds anytime a guy at this age is playing the way they're playing, it reminds me of Phil Akila, where it's like he was nowhere that season, showed no signs, but the all-time greats, they can, for 1 week, they can time it up with their hands. They know how to get them all in the hole. They've been doing it a really long time. I would love for a Euro soccer player to hit the ice. Cringe. He's back. OO is back from his timeout and continuing to flirt with the devil. That's what he's doing. Were those around stroke play though? I always play stroke play, my friend. I play ball down, ball in hole. No breakfast balls. Ben as my witness on that. I was tired of that exact conversation. I was tired of, you send I shot this and your friends are probably thinking, because I know that, how did you take 2 off the first? How many did you put them all out? And then you have what I call like a soft score. I'm in for hard scores these days. Every round for me is a tournament round. And I'm not a slow player by any stretch. Anyone who's played with me, I'm actually really fast. I could do well to slow down. So it's not like I'm slowing anybody up. But I've just decided, I've made a decision. And not everybody has to do this. Rules for me, not for thee. That's kind of what I, live my life by. But I've decided to just be a ball down, ball in hole. A ball down, ball in hole guy. Has Tourcast died? No, it's there. Tourcast is there. Spaun hit his 285. J Rose hit his 314. So a 30-yard difference. There was a difference in club. JJ Spaun hit the 3-wood. Justin Rose hit the driver. No 8-foot gimmies. No gimmies here. Oscar Gonzalez says, Rose gives me hope that golf, like wine, gets better with age. It definitely does. Plays ball in hole post open, face blue, smiling. Yeah, that's true. That's true. What's up, buddy? You want to come back in? Oh, no, you're you want to go? Okay. Just tell Justin Rose to make a birdie and I'll be out soon. Or JJ Spaun. But not both. Not both. If they both make a birdie, then we're not walking anytime soon. All right, 2 balls in the fairway here. What did you think of Belfast when you were at the Open in Portrush? Didn't spend a single second there. I was flew into Dublin, was in the Republic of Ireland, and then drove straight to Portrush, and then drove straight to Dublin to get a flight to LA. So didn't get any time in Belfast, unfortunately. They're still in sudden death. They're on the 3rd hole. I started playing golf this year, broke 100 twice. Humbling sport. You can say that again. Wait till you try to break 80. It's gonna like ruin your brain. And then you try to break 70, and then that's even harder. And then I've reached a point where I'm never gonna break one of those round numbers ever again. Isn't that kind of interesting? I've broken 70 twice in the last 2 weeks. I've broken 80. I'm not breaking 60. So all the best scores I know in my life now are gonna start with a 6. These guys are incredibly good. Yes, they are. Damn, my brother hits a great 3rd shot into a par 5. Except he had to move his ball of a shallow pond that was in some sand. Basically unplayable. That's a par, right? No, if it was standing water in a bunker, you get to move it, I believe. Or or maybe not because it's a hazard unless it's marked. I don't know. The chat will know the rules. I always thought Chelsea was more of the ghetto side of London. No, West. I really don't know. I've never broken 65 either. No, 67 is my 67's my low. So I guess breaking 65, that's scary, man. But I will say, like, it's starting to feel, the more I play, the more time I spend under par, the more comfortable you are, and the more you believe that this is not a fluke and I'm just playing golf. All right, we're going to take the Tourcast away because there's only 2 guys on the course. Okay, JJ Spaun first. Remember, the pin is back right now, only 154 yards. This looks like a little bit of a... oh, no. I thought it was maybe a pull. If anything, it's perfect. It's right at the flag. JJ Spaun is about 6 feet past it. He's given Justin Rose something to look at. And with the way this man putts in pressure moments, you got to assume he's going to make that one. Just a beautiful golf shot there. Never really left the flag. Maybe a slight cut, if anything. Sits quickly. Great shot from JJ. Oh, you can't see Rose's? Okay, there we go. Now you should be able. Now you can see everything. Sorry. Golf has been back, baby. Michael Giordano. This playoff is so great. One of the greats of the game versus the U.S. Open champion. It's fantastic. Justin Rose, second shot on 18. Can he answer JJ Spaun with a dart? He likes it. He's looking at up and down. Oh, he does answer. It'll finish a little bit outside JJ's, but that landed closer to the hole, if anything, than Spawn's did. Two great shots into 18 on the third playoff hole. Oh, Jerry, if it's over 6,000 yards, you're counting it. He says as low as 69 from the tips, but the course was only 6,400 yards. I still count it. You definitely have to count. That's a real golf course. Here's your NFL team, the Broncos. We didn't have a team growing up. My mom is from Denver, Bronco fan. Someone asked about tattoos on my right arm. I've got quite a few, so can't go through all those. Bryson versus Cantlay vibes. Patrick, can you just stop walking, please? That's exactly what Quinn said. Who do you got, Dan? I've said Rose. I've said Rose, but both of these guys are really dialed right now. Both of these guys are playing fantastic. Rose will putt first. Rose will putt first. This is crazy. This has been a crazy, crazy finish. Drop us a like and a subscribe. What an absolute treat for us after the great streaming debacle of early August 2025. We lived through that. This chat that I'm looking at right now, we lived through the toilet paper shortage of 2020. We're currently living through the Labubu disaster of summer 2025. We lived through Brat Summer of 2024. And we lived through the great streaming debacle of early August 2025 with Cameron Young. And we're on the other side now. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing what we as a community has gone through? What's the prize money this week? I think the winner gets $3.6 million. I'm currently a Bronco fan living in KC. It's rough. Yeah. I mean, isn't Chiefs like... Because there's no real like college towns, and it's all Chiefs in that area, isn't it? How far away for putts? They're probably both inside. Oh, Rose has got 11 feet 6 inches, and Spawn's got 7 feet 3 inches. So there you go. We got the tour. We got the 11 feet 6 inches and 7 feet 3 inches. So Justin Rose will putt first. Chelsea is a nice side of London, says Mark Lynn. Thank you. This is the longest Dan has been on for a podcast in general, 3+ hours. We're just getting started. How would you hit either of these putts? With authority in the middle of the putt? What are you in the middle of the cup? 3 million. Over 1,000 on the stream. Fantastic. It's all Chiefs. Rose winning right now. Calling it. Okay, Seahawks fan. Hope you're not looking at some feed that I'm not looking at. Remember, no spoiling. If you spoil this, you will be put in a timeout, and we will submit it to the dog committee on suspensions, which is me and Buddy. Buddy actually has the last say. Buddy is the groundskeeper, greenskeeper, and general manager of the Rappaport Golf Club. So all matters pertaining to the doghouse or the Rappaport practice facility outside have to run through Buddy. So it will. I can tell you, it will be an impartial review. It will be a thorough review, but it will be also a swift review, and it will be a definitive review. So if Buddy wants you gone, you will be gone. Steven, I'm sorry for your loss, man. I'm sorry for your loss. I real feel for you. Thank you for watching with this community. And yeah, look after yourself. People are counting on you. What happened with Cameron Young? He finished in the top 10. That was last week. Oh, what happened? He won the tournament by 8. It was the most boring watch along in the history of man. Stephen Pope says, can you read my message? I did. I lost my dad 3 weeks ago, and sports doesn't feel the same no more. But I know I need to look after my health. Look after your health, man. And really sorry for your loss. And hopefully this community can put a little smile on your face. Man, I had Fleetwood to win it and fell asleep around 5, lost 50. Sorry, Blueford. All right, Justin Rose for the birdie from 11 feet. He's putting right toward his shadow for a second birdie in 3 playoff holes for Justin Rose. He's playing it about a cup outside on the right. He's hit a good putt. It curves into the right side of the hole. That is gutsy from the 45-year-old. He watched JJ Spaun stick it, and he stuck it himself, and he poured in the putt, and now JJ's got 7 feet to tie. Justin Rose is 2 under for the playoff. He rolled that in with authority. JJ Spaun has a putt to get to 2 under for the playoff and keep this thing going. No spoilers in the chat. No spoilers in the chat. No spoilers in the chat. What a finish, man. This has been epic. Memphis, I was unfamiliar with your game. I'm still not going, but I was unfamiliar with your game. Okay, JJ to extend the playoff from 7 feet 3 inches. No spoilers. It feels like he's definitely going to make this, doesn't it? After he made the one on the last hole, I just feel like with the lab putter, this guy is a menace. He's a menace on the greens. Let's see if he can pour one in and send us back to the 18th tee for a 4th time. JJ Spaun misses it. Justin Rose is your winner. Wow, a Mongolian reversal on the last. And Justin Rose birdies the 2nd and 3rd playoff hole. And this guy, you want to talk about near misses. It broke his heart losing in 2017 in a playoff to Sergio Garcia. It killed him not to win the Open, finally win the Open when he had a chance at Royal Troon. And it didn't kill him as much because he lost to Rory McIlroy, who birdied the first playoff hole. But to lose the Masters twice in a playoff, that is about as close as you can get to golfing immortality without it. And then Justin Rose bounces back a couple months later, birdies 4 holes coming in, birdied 14, 15, 16, 17 to get his first win in 2.5 years for Justin Rose. He is so happy. What an incredible. He probably locked up his Ryder Cup spot. I would say that, yeah, he's locked up his Ryder Cup spot with that win. What a performance from the 45-year-old. I think there were only 2 guys over 40 in the playoffs. I think it was only Lucas Glover and Justin Rose. And Justin Rose is going to be at Eastlake. Hell of a player. He's a Hall of Famer. This is a bit of a feel-good win for the community. I know everyone was looking for Tommy to do it. But Justin Rose, his good buddy, gets it done. That was a hell of a stream, you guys. I absolutely love you guys. If you enjoyed today, we'll be back next week. Give us a like. We'll be back tomorrow for Dan on Golf. Give us a subscribe. This was super fun. We're going to do this all the time. This is what we do. You have your community to watch golf. I'll see all of you guys very, very soon.